so real. Already know exactly how you feel. See the head, not like seeing a steeple. You damn well know they're one of the people. Nobody breaks us, 'cause nobody made us, and no one can take this 'cause we got their fix. We are the people, we are the people, we are the people. Don't mess with this.
Oh, yeah. That'll get it going.
There we go.
That'll get you going.
Absolutely.
Yeah, here in a second, I'll talk about your favorite thing in the world, Luke.
What's that?
Emotional support horses.
Excuse my French. Absolutely, yeah.
Hey, what's going on around here? We got some faces in here today. We got Luke Shoemaker, rock star in the house.
What's up, y'all?
Double R superstar Rich Rockwell is here.
Yo!
And man, it's been a while since we've seen you, Matt.
Yeah, who's this dude again?
You've been out on the hunt for the foot, the squatch. What's going on, buddy?
A lot. Obviously, move in.
Right.
We had to take a trip out to Utah, and then got back from that, and then we had a nice couple reach out to me, having a whole bunch of issues on their property, and I said, all right, I'll come check it out.
Yeah.
And it's active. It's
hot.
It's really hot. So we're after we left the next night, the activity ramped up again. It's where the dogs are afraid to go outside.
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah, they're afraid to go outside. So we're coming back. We're going back up there again.
Did you end up doing a speaking engagement up there? Or is that when you did the keynote?
No, the speaking engagement, that's going to be in Ohio.
Oh, that's in Ohio.
That's
okay.
That's in
okay.
October. I'll be up there
All
in
right.
October, and then I'll be here in Little Rock for the Paranormal Expo.
Yeah.
I was just telling Matt this off air before we got started, but for those who are listening, me and Patrick's son went to high school together.
Yeah.
And we were over in Bauxite, and a spot that you really should check out, man. The on Bauxite's campus, there's this community center, and it's on the campus of their high school, and it's like a known thing. You've probably heard Noah talk about it. It's a known thing that upstairs of that community center is like super, super haunted.
Okay.
Like it's like even just like the people who run the building.
Who, Andy Breakbill?
It's wild.
Is he the one haunting it? The ghost of Andy
I haven't
Breakbill?
heard that name in so long. Dude, you sent me back to like senior year of high school, bro. That was
You up on
wild.
that, didn't I?
Dude, I was like, Coach Breakbill? Like, what's going on, dude?
It's like Scooby-Doo. Oh, no. Come on, Coach.
That's hilarious.
He's in a mask the whole time.
He's just like, it's me, I'm Coach. It's
Yeah.
just like, yeah. That's funny.
All right.
But speaking of hauntings, real quick though, before we finish up
Yeah,
the intro,
go ahead.
So since I've last been here, I've had numerous organizations be reaching out. We're gonna start filming our own documentaries here soon.
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
well.
dude. Yeah.
I've been invited to the Sally House.
Yeah, what's the Sally
So
House?
the Sally House is is another infamous haunting.
Oh, okay.
Okay, to where it's like the Crescent Hotel. People, they do tours and ghosts and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about it, but apparently there's been two groups gone through, and it's been active enough for them to reach out, and they're paying my way to go up, and I'm going in blind. Well, not with a blindfold on, but they want me
Right.
to go in and get my opinion and see what kind of activity and stuff is going on with that one. And I'll be doing that the first week of September. Actually.
Wow, man. You all of a sudden are
So-
starting to be very in demand to come and check things out. Uh-oh, Tasha said, so there's more than one Bigfoot?
Yes. Yeah, there is more than one Bigfoot. They're all over the world, and it goes off of the region. It's going to be the same thing to where, you have a black bear, grizzly bear, polar bear, panda bear.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? So there's going
Yeah.
to be different, breeds
So
of
it's
them.
Bigfoot, large foot, huge foot. Yeah.
Enormous foot. You know what I
that's
miss?
right.
I miss the Little Caesars Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah.
You don't remember that?
Yeah.
The Bigfoot
No.
pizza they did?
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a minute, but yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, that's the Bigfoot.
Have you been getting flooded with AI Bigfoot videos? It seems
Yes.
to be a new trend
Yeah.
lately. I've been seeing them everywhere.
So everybody's sending those to me, and I'll be honest with you, I like the Stormtrooper ones better.
Oh, the Stormtrooper ones are so funny, dude.
But I'm a diehard Star Wars nerd.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so of course, with doing the Bigfoot and the ghost thing, everybody's like, hey, man, look at all this Bigfoot stuff. I'm like, yeah, I get it. But let me watch Terry over here on the Stormtroopers, you know?
Yeah. The Terry channel's so funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Terry channel?
Yeah, so there's a TikTok channel where it's a stormtrooper named Terry.
Oh, okay.
And
It's
you
not
just-
the one that had to put it in reverse.
No. That's funny, dude.
Different Terry.
Different
okay.
Terry,
Okay,
yeah.
got you. All right.
There's another spot in Arkansas you need to check out though for the haunting stuff. It's up in Leslie, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
There's a venue called the Ozark Heritage Arts Center.
Okay.
And I'd played there a couple times when I was first getting started. And like, I don't know if you know James Robertson from 3 Miles from Providence. He's an Arkansas guy. He does some of the paranormal stuff too. I don't know how in depth he goes with it or not, but I know he messes with some of it. But we had played a show together there, and there was literally like, they have like fogs and all that to accentuate lighting, and literally like skulls were popping up in the lighting and all sorts of stuff.
That's
and,
kinda
like,
cool.
And there was like, weird reports of stuff there before about like different sightings and all that. So they went back and investigated it. Apparently they found stuff like in the upstairs part of it. And so you should totally go check it out at some point. Like,
I'll have to, yeah. Because I will tell you, like, I went to the Crescent. I got a chance to go up to the Crescent Hotel with Todd Neese, who's really big in the cryptid community, especially Bigfoot. And he got invited me to go. I thought it was funny, 2 Bigfoot researchers staying the night in a haunted hotel.
Yeah.
And he didn't go on the tour. I decided, yeah, I'm going to go on the tour. Why not? I'll go check it out. And I can tell you officially that my honest opinion, the Crescent Hotel is haunted.
Yeah.
I caught a full-blown apparition. I mean, looked right at it and watched it step out of view.
I had a little different experience there. Yeah, it was nothing.
Nothing?
That was my experience, not jack shit. I
My
stayed
buddy
there.
Vince had the same thing. Yeah, he said nothing.
Yeah.
He went up
Yeah.
there and had nothing.
I
So
think
I
they're
expected nothing.
intimidated by me, so that's probably what it is. Good morning,
It's your
Brad.
personality.
Yeah, no. What's up, Sean? What's up, Tasha? What's up, Mike?
Speaking about Bigfoot
yeah.
and like strange phenomenon, there
What's up, Andy?
there's apparently this strange phenomenon going on across like fans of the show, where they feel that I need to go through the same amount of pain
What's
and
up,
things
Mark?
that you go through, and I just don't understand why.
Hold on.
Because
Look,
it's not
look, Rich.
happening. No, it's not happening. It's not happening.
wait, what are we doing?
Raise your hand. There you go. Yeah. Just said raise your hand if you want to see Rich take a paintball too.
Yeah,
I
I'm
see
like,
what you're saying.
I don't know where this all of a sudden thing came from that I have to, go through the same pain.
Tasha said, I'm sorry I don't believe in it personally, but I'm open to listening. Well, that's all he could ask for, I guess.
Yeah, in all honesty, I mean, it's not for everybody. And I get hit all the time with, it's not real, and can you prove that it's real? And I'm like, there's more evidence of a creature existing in the woods than there's evidence of it not.
Yeah.
That part. I mean, you just don't know what you're walking into when you're walking into the woods at night, and you can't. You know what I
Even
mean?
during the
Like,
day. The growl that we had on Saturday was right in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah.
And it was a low kind of a quiet growl. And I'd never heard a growl like this before.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, a threatening and like, oh, we're going to come charging out of the woods at you. But it was enough for me to go, whoa. And I looked at the guys with me and I went, okay, we all heard that, right?
Yeah.
As soon as they acknowledged we heard it, right behind us, we actually had a really loud and clear, distinct tree knock. So what they call tree knocks, they think that Bigfoot's out there with a giant stick beating trees, and I don't think Bigfoot's out there beating trees because we have to replicate that sound with a baseball bat. So Sasquatch is not with a baseball bat out there or something like that beating trees.
See, I had
Maybe
a
he's blind.
similar experience. I heard a low growl and got frightened, and then I realized my colon was haunted, and that's what was. Let me get into knock out this news you can use very quickly here because there may be some things that we need to touch base on. I'm not sure. We're going to go very quickly through this. I don't want to belabor any of this bullshit. I'll tell you that. Let's see what's going on here that you care about. Okay, this is great. I did love seeing this yesterday. It just amuses me to no end. It shouldn't. Traffic on I-70 in Hagerstown, Maryland got snarled after a massive wind turbine blade came loose from the flatbed hauling it along westbound I-70 during morning rush hour. Wound up stretching across both sides of the freeway for 4 hours, something like that. No crash, no other vehicles were struck. Just funny the things designed to help you are trying to take you out.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of laughed a bit.
They sure they're not talking about Nashville with the traffic?
Right, right. Let's see what else is going on here. Air travelers who go through TSA checkpoints are learning about one reason they're being flagged for an extra search: swamp crotch. Extra moisture in the nether region is being flagged often, according to posters on Reddit who have their embarrassing stories. TSA experts said, yes, sweaty crotch can trigger a further search. Other odd reasons to get stopped include having larger features below the belt, both front or back. So in other words, if it looks like you stuffed your pants,
Oh, okay.
you got an armadillo in your pants,
Right.
they're going to want to have a look and make sure that it's the real deal and not something you got put in there.
It's a real armadillo.
Yeah.
These are good things. I need to know these tips, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
You're packing like that, so you got to be worried. I'm Rich Rockwell, bitch. I mean, get a clue. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez had some giant wedding. He's rich, and some people are mad because a rich guy had a rich wedding. Rosie O'Donnell showed up. Another news, Rosie O'Donnell's still around. She was mad about it, so I don't know why anyone's mad about it.
I think it was because I read something from somebody else. Like,
Yeah.
wherever he showed up at, he basically just called up and was like, hey, I'm on my way. Anybody that's there, kick him out. I'm doing this.
Okay.
And they did.
He is Jeff Bezos.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying be a dick, but I'm saying, look, what's the point of getting rich if you can't do rich people shit?
Right.
Honestly, I mean,
You see, for me, I guess I have a different definition of rich. Like,
Yeah.
if I can just fill up my truck, have a nice double wide, and go to Chili's without having to check my wallet every time.
yeah, if you
We're
can
good.
just get the dessert and not think about it.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Right?
saying? If I can get
Yeah.
the skillet
Can I
cookie,
get that
you know what I
cookie?
mean?
Yeah, let me get that cookie and that skillet, bitch. Come on. Two of them. One for one of my friend, too. Yeah, that's how you know you're rich.
No, straight up, man. Yeah, straight up.
hate it.
So the serial killing Brian Kohlberger, the guy that whacked 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022, he apparently saw the writing on the wall and pled guilty yesterday so he'll get, I'm sure, life in prison, probably more than one life sentence, but he won't be murked. Huh?
Little doggies coming.
No, I don't know. Yeah, is that right, Rich? Are you smuggling midgets?
Yeah, you know it.
Huh? That's what you got going on over there?
Got to get them to the event somehow, man. You know? Save on airfare.
That's right.
Here, just jump in the pocket.
Just have one strap here, one strap here. They did release information on the guy who ambushed the 2 firefighters. What a piece of shit, man.
Right.
I mean, I know he was mentally defective somehow, but man, that's
Defective.
just, I mean, just of all people to attack. You know, they're the one people that all they do is help you.
Yeah.
You know, they're not out, trying to arrest you. They're not causing. They just show up when your shit's on fire, literally.
Yeah.
You know, why would you ever want to ambush those guys? I mean, what kind of point could you ever make with that?
Yeah.
No, it's just stupid, man.
No, I grew up around firefighters, man. They'll have your back.
They do,
Yeah,
man.
you know
They're
what I
good
mean?
people, man.
Yeah.
Inevitably, they are very courageous people, very brave people. The Justice Department and the state partners have charged more than 320 people in what they call the biggest healthcare fraud sweep ever. Investigators say the schemes rang up $14.6 billion, that's with a B, in false Medicare and Medicaid claims, more than double last year's record. Nearly 100 medical professionals, 25 doctors among the accused. Cases span 190 indictments, 90 state actions. Seized money tops $245 million in cash, cars, crypto, and property. The largest indictments in 90 the largest sting, Operation Gold Rush, alleges a $10 billion catheter billing scam that stole patient IDs from more than 1 million Americans. Officials warn that transnational crime rings are trying to turn healthcare into a target. So, in essence, what happened is these companies, which originated out of Russia, set up these medical equipment, medical supply companies, and then they set up fake accounts where they were billing for these items, and those items were never going anywhere, and they did it to the tune of billions of dollars. So, yeah, that's a lot of money, scams being run. There were doctors in on it. There were all kinds of professionals in on it. That, it was a big scam going. They were all pocketing a lot of damn money. So I'm glad they caught that. Yeah, maybe that'll help your healthcare costs go down. Probably not. Let's see. What else is going on here? No, that's too heavy. I don't want to deal with it. Okay, this was a kind of a good story, kind of a bad story. But on Sunday, a father jumped in the ocean to save his daughter after she fell overboard off the Disney Dream cruise ship as it sailed between the Bahamas and Fort Lauderdale. It occurred during the final leg of the 4-night Bahamas cruise. Passengers say the dad treaded water for over 10 minutes with his daughter in his arms before the rescue crew got to them. Now, I have heard some stories, I do not know, but I'd heard some stories that dad had put the kid up on the railing to take the picture, but I'm not sure that that's accurate. But either way, yeah, if my kid goes over, I'm damn sure going
Right?
in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, if the shark's going to get you, it's going to get me.
Exactly. I read that last night, actually, as well. I was reading, going, oh, wow, what would I do in that situation? And I was like, yep, I'd be
Yeah,
in the
there's
water.
not even a question of what I would do. You know,
Still got to learn how to swim.
Yeah, that's a problem. Isn't it? That's a little bit of a problem. Yeah, that could be a challenge for
Maybe you
you.
can get an emotional support dolphin.
No, an emotional support horse that can swim.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they have those.
No, like literally, my parents put me in beginner swim classes. They held me back 3 times in it, and then just gave them their money back when I was a kid.
He ain't got any choice. He's got no choice.
Yeah, aquatically challenged.
3 Days Grace just joined Spotify's Billion Club.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, their 2003 debut single, I Hate Everything About You, has now been streamed more than 1 billion times, making them only the second Canadian rock band to reach that mark. They thank fans, laughing that the breakup song is somehow a lot of wedding first dance pics. The classic hit tops a catalog that boasts 19 number one rock singles. To cap the good news, they confirmed their first album with returning original singer Adam Gontier. It's titled Alien Nation, and that record's due out August 22nd.
I'm ready for it.
They've already dropped a single or two, haven't they?
Yeah, they just put out the third one off the record called Dominate. They've done Mayday, they've done Apologies, they've done Dominate. It's good to see Adam back with them, man. I think I'm going to finally get to hang out with those guys in September.
Yeah, that's awesome,
if
man.
everything kind of lines up right. I'm pulling up to Louder Than Life in September because I got some friends that are playing. So they're playing the same day that 3 Days is. So I think we're going to try to. It'll be cool, man.
Your friends are Metallica?
No, that's fun. Well, it's funny you mentioned that. So not because of Metallica, but I was at rehearsal, I guess a week ago for the stuff that happened at Marathon this past weekend, and a buddy of mine came through, and he was literally leaving rehearsal to go hang out with Rob from Metallica.
Really?
Yeah.
Rob Trujillo?
Yeah. And so,
I was watching his audition a couple nights ago.
Oh yeah,
online.
he's killer.
Man, the dude is awesome, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
He's working on some cool stuff. It's not my place to say, but when I went to Gibson, I saw some cool stuff. And he's gonna get to do some cool stuff soon.
Yeah, that dude can slap it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Vin Diesel teasing an epic comeback may be on the way for the Fast and Furious franchise. Hell, did it ever go away?
Right.
What are you talking about, a comeback? Shit, you just had one out not long ago.
Yeah.
On Saturday night, he and his co-stars Tyrese and Cody Walker were at Fuel Fest. That's a big car event in California. Diesel told fans what they might expect in the next film. He said, the studio said to me, Vin, can we please have the finale of Fast and Furious in April 2027? I said, under these conditions, first, you got to bring it back to L.A. The second thing was to return to the car culture, to the street racing. The third thing was reuniting Dom and Brian O'Connor. You see, that's the last thing that was kind of challenged. The Brian O'Connor character was played by Paul Walker, and apparently through AI, they'll be able to bring him back fully, not just partially.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird in a way, you know?
Yeah, I was ready for the final after the second movie.
Yeah, no. I
don't think I even watched any of them past the second.
No.
Wasn't the second? Which one was the one where they were? Is that the drift one?
I think that was
Tokyo
a different
Drift,
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
You
was
know-
like trash.
Yeah, I enjoy
Horrible.
them, man.
No, I mean, a lot of people like it, but I mean,
It's one of those, like, you know what you're getting when you go into
No,
it.
it's a
type
popcorn
deal.
movie, yeah.
But, like, the last one where they, like, went to space. You know what I'm saying? And
they went to space, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. No, they were straight up, they went to space in a car.
No.
What?
Yeah, dude.
What kind of car goes to space, bro?
Apparently theirs. It was one of those, dude.
They have some nitrous? Is that what
Yeah,
did it?
like they literally like duct
They-
taped their spacesuit together.
No.
I'm just waiting for him to do time travel next.
No. No, come on, man. That's probably how Paul Walker's coming back.
Yeah, straight
probably
up.
go to space and hit a black hole, and that's
Yep.
how Paul Walker comes back.
Straight
Yeah.
up. And you see Morpheus show up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think that's air you're breathing, Dom? There's no air in space, bitch. Oh, sorry, that's wrong. Man, this is pretty crazy. I was watching this video earlier. An Argentinian tourist recorded herself kind of responding funny, but when two robot clerks tried to check her into a hotel in Japan, managers once bragged that 240 robots would slash costs, but guests say the machines freeze, mishear requests, and create extra work. You don't say. Just try to call the pharmacy at Walmart.
Yeah.
What would you tell us what you'd like to do? Speak with a pharmacist. Did you say no?
No.
Yeah, so I'm sure, but it is
Hours of
interesting.
operation are.
That's right.
I always hate when it goes to that one, man. And I'm just yeah.
It says the promises of advancements and savings still seem to be elusive. Managers once bragged that the 240 would cut costs, but more than half of them have been mothballed and human workers rehired. So they're having some problems with it. It's novel right now. It's not working though. All right, thousands of Norwegians are pissed off. They thought they were rich and then they weren't. They all were told they basically won the Euro jackpot late Friday. Hours later, the company confessed a coding slip multiplied prizes by 100 instead of dividing by 100, meaning no one actually struck it big. So there's probably some lawsuits there coming out. If it was here, I know there'd be lawsuits.
Right.
Yeah.
You could bet on that. A judge sentenced Jackson Vogel to life in prison without parole for murdering his cellmate in a hate crime. Vogel, 25, already serving 20 years for trying to kill his mom when he was 16. 8 years later, he was given a new cellmate, 19-year-old Micah Loriano. He was serving 3 years for assault and vehicle theft. Vogel killed him within minutes of him stepping in the cell. During the sentencing, he asked the judge to consider possibility of supervised release in the future. Said he might not show remorse or understand emotion, but claimed he was sorry. Come on, man. Don't ever let that dude out. Jake Paul is threatening legal action against people who says he stages fights.
Yeah,
I don't think you stage fights. I think you just pick opponents whose asses a lot of people could beat. You know, people who aren't boxers or who are over the hill or whatever. I saw Butterbean trying to get in the game. I'm like, 58-year-old Butterbean, you're going to hit that dude and kill him.
That's what we need to do. We need to get you versus Jake Paul going.
No, you don't. Listen, I'm not the one to do it. I'll tell you that. This is a last little news story here, but this tells you where it's at, man. As reported, it took Nike over a year to showcase their megastar Caitlin Clark since her signing with the company. Probably a big mistake. They should have done it sooner. Sunday, the sports apparel company dropped a video for Caitlin's upcoming Nike Kobe sneaker. That goes on sale Monday morning. Well, on Monday, the Caitlin Clark shoe sold out in less than 1 minute.
Dang.
Yeah, less than 1 minute, it was sold out. That's how much people dig Caitlin Clark.
Wow.
That's wild, man.
That is wild.
Yeah, less than a minute. It's the first real, big player contract of its kind in the WNBA. She is kind of like the Jordan all of a sudden of the WNBA, I think. A lot of eyes are on it. Well, if you could just have a lot of Caitlin Clarks, everybody would show up to watch it. But you also have a bunch of Angel Reese's, too.
See, I don't know sports. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. I don't know why I bothered to look at you. I should have looked somewhere else. If you're looking for a vehicle, you know where to go. Fitz Auto is the place to go. Now, you can go online at fitzauto.com or you can go in person, 8421 Stagecoach Road in Little Rock. What makes them different? What makes them special? Well, they work with you regardless of your credit history because they're their own bank. They don't have to ask anybody else. It's up to them who they work with. And they have late model, low mileage vehicles. They're going to save you money. They're going to put you in something you can be proud of. And it doesn't matter. Sports car, truck, SUV, boat, RV, camper, amphibious units. They've got motorcycles. Anything you could possibly want on wheels and an engine, they've got it there for you. Check them out, fitzauto.com. Start there, in there. It's where you're going to go because it's the best deal.
In the right space you style a certain eloquence. The masses drawn in like a magnet, seducing a room with no need to convince, finding themselves warm deep in your pocket. If it's story painting, you're the Picasso. Every stroke is you in full color. Look on stage, it's the maestro. But what about when the show's over? When it's over, when the gallery closes and the audience leaves, and the only people left are just you and me. What happens when they figure out that all they've really seen is a collection of your forgeries? The finest brushes are proudly displayed, the best canvas and solid oak frames, like a studio in the heart of Marseille. The vibrant colors of a con game, showing off your truest talent by painting me in this corner. The canvas isn't even dry, but they all see you as a mourner. Oh, in mourning, when the gallery closes and the audience leaves, and the only people left are just you and me. What happens when they figure out that all they've really seen is a collection of your forgeries? Of your forgeries! The tour of our friends is almost complete. Your paintings hang on their walls. Wonder when they find out the cheat, if they'll regret that investment at all. Are they gonna regret it? Are they gonna regret it? They're definitely gonna regret it. When the gallery closes and the audience leaves, and the only people left are just you and me. What happens when they figure out that all they've really seen is a collection? Is a collection of your forgeries.
Yeah, we're back now. Tasha said I'd be a helicopter parent in an environment like that, talking about the kid that fell off the cruise ship. Yeah, you're damn right. We took our two boys when they were pretty young on a trip on a cruise, and yeah, no, we knew exactly where they were at all times. Now, I will say that later we went on a cruise, and if you ever go on a cruise, one of the interesting things is there's always a channel in your room that shows you the deck cameras, and it pans from to each deck, and you see whatever. And when they were older, we went on another cruise, and we were in the room just watching them on the cameras going all over the place, and laughing at them. You know, they were just running all over, talking to girls. You know, trying to look. Well, never mind. But
I still want to go on a cruise. I've never been on one.
Yeah, me either, man.
Yeah. My buddies.
They're cheap. I mean, they're cheap enough to go on, man. You can go on them cheap.
Really?
Hell yeah, man. You can go on one for under $500.
Man, I'm gonna have to do that. Like, I'll tell you the biggest selling point for me. I heard that you can get like pizza like 24/7. Like,
Let me tell you something. Yeah. The minute you have Guy Fieri's, your life's going to change.
Oh, you told me about this.
Your life will change. No, it's going to change.
Yeah.
Like when I went back, I made sure before we went. I said, "You make sure there's one on that ship."
Yeah.
If I'm going on it, okay? Because that's all I'm. When I tell you that was lunch every day and a couple times dinner, I mean it.
Dude, I want to
My
go.
fat ass loves that burger.
I want to go on Creed cruise too.
Oh yeah, the Rockers, they've got a cruise.
Well, yeah. So like Creed has a cruise of their own. And
Yeah.
I got some buddies in Tantric.
You get
and
on
they
with
play it
arms
every
wide open?
year. Yeah, basically.
I was listening to them the other day.
Yeah. Oh, Tantric.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Eric's the homie, their bass player, and they play Creed cruise every year. And I'm like, bro, you got to get me on one of these days
That's
so I
funny.
can come through and hang
There's a
out.
lot of those kind of music cruises now.
There
where you
are,
go.
dude. There's Shiprock. There's
Yeah.
the Creed one.
Isn't there one with, some pretty heavy rock bands that,
That shit rocked.
is it?
Yeah.
Who's on that one?
It's different every year, but it's a lot of like the active rock stuff. Like,
Okay.
they've had like Five Finger. They've
Yeah.
had 3 Days. They also do a cool thing too called the Stowaways.
See, on a cruise ship, though, the difference is you don't, if you're a band and you come to a venue, you got a green room to hide out in the whole time.
Yeah.
On a cruise ship, you don't have that.
Yeah. No, straight up. Yeah. Like
So how do they avoid?
I don't think they do. I think they just hang
You
out.
just there you are with, hanging out with, Ivan Moody in the buffet or something.
No, straight up, dude.
Yeah, what's up, Ivan?
Yeah.
Yo, man, hand me those tongs. Let me get some fries, dog.
So when are we doing the PATP cruise?
I know that's right.
No, Latasha says she can hook us up with cruises.
Yeah, no, we need to do that for sure.
Like
That's
now.
That's not a horrible
yeah,
idea.
no, that's a great idea. I got some. Okay, yeah, let's talk about that, T-Mac, for sure.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, little dog
man.
said your boys
Yeah.
just being the cool guys they are. They are cool dudes.
I don't know. Then again, after watching that documentary the other day, I don't know that I need to get on any cruise anytime
the
soon.
one and only poop cruise. That's what you're worried about. No, man, you're not going to get. And if you do, listen, it's gonna be great. You're gonna have something to talk about when
Right.
you get back.
Yeah.
That'd be
It's an
awesome.
experience.
Yeah, yeah, that's all you're looking for is the experience, right? You ever been on a cruise, Matt?
Never.
No.
No.
Never.
Wow.
Being stuck on a ship with a whole bunch of people has never been my idea of fun.
And
As
it wasn't
Bigfoot?
right. Being in the woods with Bigfoot, though.
I can run away there. I mean,
Maybe.
Yeah, my
I mean, not
options.
if he's
My options
after
on the
you.
cruise ship are the people or sharks.
Yeah,
and
no,
I'd
you're
rather
right.
take my chances with the sharks.
Well,
Yeah.
I used to feel that way too, but I do enjoy it. Now it's been a while, but as far as vacations go for affordability, they're probably the best.
Really?
Yeah, because you can go so affordably to 3 different countries, see 3 different things, have 3 different
Well,
completely
to me, it just seems
cool
like it's a
experiences.
structured vacation. To where at this time we're going to this port.
That's right.
You have from
What
this
do
time
you
to this
need?
time.
You just need. I just
know.
want to roam on my own and
Yeah.
get killed. Yeah, no,
I'm still here, aren't I?
Yeah, but I'm saying, yeah, but you go into Mexico, you don't roam like that.
No, that's why I don't go to Mexico.
It won't be Bigfoot you got to worry about.
No, I mean,
it'll
what-
be Pedro.
The 2 times I went to Puerto Rico, great island, great. Loved the people down there. Had a good time in Puerto Rico. But I mean, they had laws set up to where at night they don't have red lights. You just slow down, make sure you're clear, and go through because of all the carjackings.
Yeah,
And that's even in the tourist area.
yeah, that's great.
So I mean, but me, no, I just
Were
enjoy the
you
woods.
worried about being carjacked? You didn't have your own
No, I
car?
didn't have a car. No,
Yeah, so
no,
it
I was
didn't
riding with
matter.
other people and stuff like that. One was a company trip, and the other one was a vacation.
Gotcha.
But no, I'd rather just be in the woods.
Yeah. No, I get it. No,
I'm
a lot
happier
of
in the
people
woods.
love that.
Take me to the mountains. I got a lake. I mean, come on, fish.
Tactical Turkey said, I won't go anywhere I can't take a pew-pew. Well, don't they make the all-plastic ones now that you can covertly get in your bag? I don't know. I saw that on Born Identity or something.
Can't you
I'm not
check
sure.
the paintball anywhere?
Right? Yeah, that ought to be enough. The damn paintball.
So it's funny you mentioned paintball. I actually interviewed a guy a month ago. He was in southern Pennsylvania as a 16-year-old kid. Him and his buddy were playing in the woods, and the same woods him and his family go do all the time. It's family property. They were young. At night, that'd be cool to tape laser pointers on their paintball guns to shoot each other. Oh, cool, we got laser pointers now, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They both see a figure, and they assume it's the other person.
It wasn't the
So they light this thing up until it stood up. Mm-hmm. And it happened to be Sasquatch. So these 2 kids shot Sasquatch with a paintball gun.
Yeah. How did that work? What did Sasquatch do?
He said all they did stood up. It scared the crap out of them. They ran into each other. And it just kind of slowly just strolled away. And everybody's like going, don't you think it would hurt it? And I'm like, not with the fur and the layers of muscle and fat's going to have on
Yeah.
its hide. It just kind of feel like, maybe
Yeah.
maybe that to it.
I don't know, Patrick. How bad did it hurt with the layers of fat
No,
and
it
skin
hurt
on
pretty
the
bad, but
outside?
I don't have those kind of layers. Do you think those kids could have been high?
No.
I'm just asking. I'm just curious if they possibly could have smoked any weed because I
well-
thought I saw something once when I was on acid, and I didn't, but I thought I did.
So the interview I did last night too, though, was one of the questions that gets brought up all the time is when people do have an encounter, did you see something along those? The question is, were you drunk?
Right.
And my answer every time is, I have been drunk a lot. Hence the name of the show. It's called The Drunken Cryptids.
Yeah, no.
Right? I have never seen anything or hallucinated at all on beer.
In fact, I've never hallucinated, period.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I used to want to, but I never have.
Yeah.
I've made some questionable decisions now on drinking.
yeah.
But definitely never like.
I've hallucinated that I'm going to probably die from whatever I
Exactly.
ingested, but,
No, I haven't had that happen either.
No, that stuff's real.
You never had a trip, where you're just like, oof, man,
No.
this is bad.
No.
I'm going to just sit down and ride this one out.
Now,
No?
you know how Tom Cruise is like the ultimate stunt man and he just does whatever and has
Yeah.
no fear? Yeah, I was that guy.
That's me on beer.
Yeah, I just didn't care.
I'm still 20 years
try
old.
Just
anything,
keep-
didn't worry about it. I was stupid. I was young and dumb, But yeah, no, I never.
I mean, because, I've gotten high enough off weed before that I'm just like, oof, I can, yeah.
no, I never
I
had
need to lay down. I'm a little lightheaded.
I almost had a bad trip once, but I didn't. But almost. I mean, the last time
What does that even mean?
right.
You're saying it was good?
It was a stumble.
it was pretty great.
Yeah.
But the last time that I had I did any hallucinogenic things, LSD,
Yeah.
I decided I was damn sure going to hallucinate. I was like, I'm going out with style.
Yeah.
So I took 3 hits at one time. And, man, it just kept going higher and higher. And at one point I went, if I get any higher, this is going to be a problem for me. I'm going to get nervous here.
Yeah.
And then it leveled out and everything was good. So,
Look at little doggies coming.
it was taco. Yeah, all of a sudden I'm Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on a
that's
drug.
gotta be-
It's called Charlie Sheen. I'm tired of pretending I'm not a bitchin' rock star from Mars.
That's
Yeah.
got to be Tommy
Tommy.
on the Drunken Cryptids.
Oh.
My producer. Yeah.
Oh, he said we don't drink. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, right.
I'll tell you another spot you need to check out, though, man.
I feel like we took over your show about
No,
cryptids
you're
and
good.
paranormal.
It's
I'm
all
so
good.
sorry.
No, I don't mind. I'm enjoying it. It's nice to not have to talk as much.
Oh, there you go. No, movie theaters, though. Movie theaters are notoriously haunted. Like,
I have a theory on that.
really? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be curious because I used to work in theaters.
And I'll summarize it real shortly. So I believe that we release energy, whether happy energy, bad energy, just we're energetic creatures.
I released some just a second ago. Did you smell it?
So I moved over here.
Oh,
So there's all this trapped energy is going to be in there. So if people are watching a film, they're excited, they're into it, whatever's going on. So that energy gets released and trapped inside, and that's where we actually will have a haunting, and it's just kind of a recurring part of the energy going through.
Yeah.
And Arkansas is fascinating in the fact of the matter that we have so much quartz crystals. I mean, you can't dig anywhere in Arkansas without finding quartz.
that's true.
Yeah.
And quartz has been used throughout history as a way of, an energetic kind of rock,
Yeah,
per se.
yeah.
Be able to trap energies, use energies. If you look at old texts, you look at old manuscripts, the crystal is the key. If you look at modern day Wiccans, what they use crystals, for energy stuff. So I think Arkansas has a lot more paranormal activity than a lot of other spots in the country or the world.
As a result of the
as a-
energy held in the crystals.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I fully believe that. So I think that's why a lot of movie theaters are not going to catch, I went to the Birdcage Theater in Tombstone, Arizona, which was absolutely awesome, and not thinking anything paranormal, nothing at all, just going through, walking through the museum, checking it out. Walked up on the stage, and I felt on my other shoulder just like a hand just go,
Yep.
and I was like, oh, just got touched.
Yeah.
So
So you remember Breckenridge that used to be over on Rodney Perry?
Of course.
Yeah.
That was the first theater I ever worked at.
Yeah.
That mofo's haunted. So the way the projector booth is set up, when you go, and this is how it is at a lot of movie theaters, but just for context, when you walk upstairs in a movie theater in a projector booth, it's just one super long hallway.
Yeah.
Then all the projectors for every single auditorium are connected
Yes.
in one big old room. And part of when you close down a movie theater at night is you go up and you turn off all those projectors so those huge light bulbs aren't running overnight. On the weekends, they have like off-duty, like Little Rock police officers and all that come hang out at the theater and everything. And so you wind up becoming friends with all the cops that like come and work with you and all that. And so there was one night, I just graduated high school, I was going up. Me and this officer, like, were upstairs turning off all the projectors. And he's a witness to this. I ran into him at a gas station in Benton. It was the first time I've seen him in 10 years, and he still remembered it.
Wow.
And he shined his flashlight at the other end of the hallway, and we seen a shadow, like, figure just dart across.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, I saw it with my own eyes. Like,
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those kind of deals. And the way the office was set up in the theater, too, it's 2 rooms, and the door in the middle that separates the 2 rooms just locks automatically. Like, you can't unlock it, so they would keep a box in between it to prop it open. To this day, somebody still has this security camera footage. I don't know who, but there's actual footage of the box just flying from the doorway. And the door just shutting.
That's
like,
wild.
No one being anywhere around it. And
Well, we have one of the most haunted locations here in Central Arkansas, right around the corner.
What is that?
Four quarter bar
I believe that.
in Argenta.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they've got footage on their security cameras. Everybody that works there will tell you that it's haunted. They've all had encounters. I've had an encounter in there. My buddy Rick from San Antonio came up to visit and hang out a couple years ago. He saw a face that was peeking over the railing at us, from the stairwell, which was cool. So, yeah, I mean, just right down the road, we've got, when you go in there, have a couple drinks, try the food, it's great. But, I mean, it's honestly haunted.
Yep,
So.
I believe it. There was, when I worked over there, too, we had a guy that passed away during a movie, unfortunately.
During a movie?
During a Christmas Day. Yeah.
What movie was it?
It was some World War II movie. I forget the name of it, but it was Christmas Day. It was like
I'd like to think it was during a big explosion.
no,
Bam.
he actually didn't even make it through the previews. It was actually
no.
It was super sad. Like, his family was with him, like his kids and his grandkids were there. It was It was so sad.
They stayed for the movie, though.
No. They shut the movie off.
Y'all give them a refund?
But
They used
yeah,
him to
I
hold
think
the
so.
popcorn.
Yeah, but no, like that's wild. But it's wild. But no,
I guess they got a refund.
No, auditorium 12, seat E5. Don't sit there. But
Noted.
Yeah, but no, like after that happened, there was definitely like an uptick too and stuff and all that. Like, it was crazy.
Well, I think the part of that, too, though, is the energy, because I get asked all the time, how come there's no animal ghosts? And I go, well, what's a ghost? Nobody can answer that. I can't tell what a ghost is. I don't know what a ghost is.
No.
I can tell you I don't think it's your great-grandma popping in and checking on you.
Probably not.
You know what I mean?
If you're going to believe in it, no.
You're not going to find great-grandma's, cookie recipe on the Ouija board.
Yeah.
Somebody else is talking to, but it ain't your great-grandma. She's up there having a good time,
Yeah.
So.
There's some scary stuff, man. It's doors that shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, it's the whole thing.
T-Mac said, I wish I could try some drugs, but my anxiety won't allow me. Nah, you're good. Stay
Just
away.
gotta hang out with the right people.
T-Mac, I'll be honest with you, I've only tried weed twice. The hardest thing in my life I've ever tried, besides weed, moonshine. That's it.
Tactical Turkey said LSD will make you marry your buddy's mom, I heard. Maybe. I think it was more the weed and the, well, never mind. But
It's whatever we want to. It's whatever we want it to be, right?
who is Ragnar?
I have
Ragnar?
no idea, but they are active, man. They came in on fire.
Yes, it's a replay, Ragnar. You've stepped back in time.
It's actually 2019.
Yeah. Welcome back to pre-pandemic.
In September.
Or pensioners.
Yeah,
Doug.
I don't know where this guy showed up.
Gas
from,
is
but it's
great.
Funny. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's right. 4 boomers, pensioners,
Yeah.
old people,
Yeah, we're-
over
yeah.
the hill, clowns,
They're
whatever
younger.
you want to call it. That's fine.
It is my birthday week.
Is it?
Yeah,
happy birthday.
Thursday, yeah. The big 5-0.
Joey said there's been a few Bigfoot sightings that have been me. That's funny.
On that one, too, though, I do believe that a lot of sightings are misidentification. I really do.
Well, of course
Oh,
they are.
100%.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
have to be.
In,
A bear,
a deer, believe it or not, a deer.
a
Now,
silverback gorilla.
Now, what's your take on aliens?
Oh, man, that's an hour episode.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a few different schools of thought on it. Like, so for me, my uncle, he passed away about 6 years ago, but he was Air Force. He was a loadmaster on C-130s and all that. Like, he was one of the dudes that like had the clearances and everything.
Yeah.
And from the time I was this tall, I was always asking him about aliens and all that stuff, and he would never Never, ever, ever say a word of it.
Yeah.
And then legitimately the last time I seen him before he passed away, I was like, listen, I know you can't tell me any details, so I'll just ask it in a yes or no format. Is there more to know? And he said yes. And that's all he would ever say.
Well, I mean, the government even came out a couple years ago and said yes.
Oh, yeah. Like,
We got they're calling them UAPs now, and which is the funny part. They have to change the name from UFO to UAP to whatever, and they came out even in a congressional hearing and said, yeah, these are interdimensional beings.
And they even, I remember in 2020, they came out with an article, I think on New York Times, that said that we have vehicles in our possession not made on this world or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, you're good, Ragnar. We're just giving you a hard time, buddy.
Yeah, so I was 22. I was going to type in because, I'm too old to relate to the younger ones.
Well,
translate into 22-year-old language.
Do you hunt and peck on the keyboard too? Because that's how I have to type. I have to hunt and
Me
peck.
too, me too. No, man, I'll be honest with you. That's the same age as my son. He's
Oh.
a barber. Yeah, it is. You're not wrong about that.
He's got hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke has. He cut off his hair recently. He had enough for all of us until now.
Yeah, it was down to
I got
that
some.
Yeah.
Not much.
No, you got a little bit, don't you? Let's talk about this. This sounds interesting. The world's most expensive robot girlfriend
Oof.
serves you coffee and can speak 4 languages. It costs you about $70,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Now this is out of the UK. That's where this is from.
It's cheaper than a divorce.
It could be, depending on what you're worth. The doll, called the companion robot XO4 Sync 2, can have context-aware chats using AI chatbot ChatGPT, learning from past chats to adapt to future ones. They also come with robotic facial expressions and arms and hands that move to convey expression. And like something from a sci-fi epic, they have micro cameras planted in their eyes to allow them to recognize you by face tracking. Footage shows the bot flexing its arm, moving its eyes, and winking. In one clip, the robot even serves up a cup of coffee to men looking on in amazement. So far, only 3 have been sold. They went on sale starting last year, but they say there is a surge in demand since the pandemic. That they're getting a lot of demand for these silicone love interests.
And there's so many movies about why this is.
I'm gonna say I've seen
Like,
I've seen that movie, Terminator.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now there's another new one with Megan Fox playing as the an AI robot that assists the family. Allegedly falls in love or
Yeah, I saw
lust with the
something
husband.
about that.
I haven't
don't
watched
know.
it
I
yet,
haven't watched
but
it either. I saw something about that.
yeah. So, and then the other movie, Megan. I'm just saying we got enough evidence out there in Hollywood
Yeah.
telling us not to do it.
Right.
It's the only time I'm going to listen to Hollywood.
Tasha said, "Does she cook?" Well,
Right.
I mean, she will. Brandon said, "The question is, can you bang it?" Well, I would assume so. I mean, why else would you? Never mind. Yeah, I mean, this is going to happen sooner than later. But trust me, it's going to be later for us.
You know what you need to do.
Because until they can walk,
Yeah, I don't
and,
think
and,
it's-
and they're independent. They're not hooked to a cord. They're not charging like a toaster somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People and until they're cost effective. That's the number one thing. When you can get them down to vehicle finance terms, that's when the world ends.
Yep.
That's when the world ends. When you go,
Imagine having
we
your-
can get you with 4-year finance, and we got a 10-year part warranty on this, notwithstanding another region. And then people, they'll roll out to end the planet.
Yeah, and then they get their AI repoed.
Right.
You just imagine right in the middle.
Didn't that be the worst? Your
It just
chick
walks
gets
out the door.
repoed?
It
Oh
leaves
my
you.
God.
You got to interview one on the air. Huh? Like, you got to interview one of them on
Oh,
the
I
air.
would love to interview one on air. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
There's some creepy AI interviews out there actually where they are asking AI questions
Yes,
and they
I've
get
seen
really into, and AI comes back with some really
Sometimes it's
Interesting answers.
Sometimes it seems friendly, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Are you gonna be able to choose options when they get down to that point? Well, add on this option.
Yeah, oh
you
no,
know,
I mean, what's the point of it? Yeah, listen, they're going to have them where you have the swappable nether region.
Right.
So depending
Maybe
on
like
your
a bigger
mood,
gallon tank, that it can hold before having to be.
you're talking about your dairy,
Kinda like your mom.
dairy dispensers.
Yeah.
Like my mom.
I'm gonna let
You
y'all
still
handle
owe me
that.
money from that, by the way. That 30% is mine. So bring it to me. Stop bullshit.
Hey, Latasha Mack, I always thought she was a robot anyways.
Yeah, Megan Fox used to be a normal human being at some point, I think. I don't know when she turned. Look what she did to Machine Gun
Wait, what'd
Kelly.
she play a robot in?
No, I don't remember the name of it, but it's
It was a movie we were just talking about.
But something happened to her. She destroyed Machine Gun Kelly. That guy was kind of normal.
Yeah.
And then the last time,
Kind of?
Well, kind of normal in the beginning.
His name?
I'm just saying he seemed like a fairly normal person until he showed up like in a pink outfit, damn near. I mean, it was just crazy stuff. I was like, what did you do to this man?
Apparently,
he's broken.
Apparently, I look like I'm in a gang.
Well, why do you say that?
That's what this Ragnar dude said.
no,
He
he's
said blue
definitely-
shirt and glasses guy looked like
No,
he's
he's
in a gang.
definitely in a gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell him about your gang.
Right.
He's actually a crime lord here in Central Arkansas.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Don't make me
keep
beat you
messing
with my
around.
microphone.
So
He's got a gang of midgets ready for you.
Would you, as a single person here, you, Rich, you, Luke, if the technology were great,
No.
would you be interested in an AI girlfriend?
No, I'm all good.
Even free.
No.
Try it out. See what you think.
I'm all good.
Perfect girl. I mean, she wants to talk about Star Wars. She loves it. She wants to go watch all the movies you want to.
No, if I got that kind of money, I'm going to buy an F-250. If I got that kind of money, I'm gonna go buy an
Yeah,
F-250.
an F-250. Well, you probably can. These days, you can. I guess it's not even. He said Megan Fox is fine, but she's a Satanist. Maybe. I don't even know. She may be past that. I'm not even sure she's human, to be honest with you, Ragnar. I don't know.
Going with the robot.
It's like Angelina Jolie. At one point, she was human.
She was.
And she was very hot, and then she became something else altogether. So I assume
Scientology.
I don't know about that, but it could be. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Scientology's weird stuff, bro.
Yeah, it's beyond weird. I mean,
Well, now
any
that-
religion
that's-
created by a guy who writes sci-fi novels got to give you.
That's
a
rich,
hand.
though. You understand? That's
Oh, yeah.
kind of rich coming from you, right?
I know.
Bigfoot. I'm just saying, man. That shit's crazy.
And I love that the Bigfoot hunter thing. I mean, the only I do this because I know there's something out there.
Yeah, no,
what it is,
got
I
you.
don't know.
No, I
you know what I mean.
I understand.
And I love the jabs.
Yeah.
I really, really
I
do.
know you do.
I play with them, and my argument is all the time is like, yeah, there's no evidence for it not to be there. You know.
No, I give you a hard time because it's fun to. You know.
It is. Well, I'm going to get you up there. Why not? This not
Yeah,
chicken infested.
I'm ready to do that.
I'm not going to take you. It was so bad,
No.
Patrick. This weekend, you guys, the ticks were so bad.
Oh my God! Yes.
I mean, I'm
That's
still
much
finding
worse.
ticks.
I'd much rather see Bigfoot than ticks.
Yeah, I
Ticks
mean,
scare me a hell of a lot more than Bigfoot.
how are you on spiders?
They used to bother me. They don't anymore.
Okay, the one area that we went into, I mean, it was the ground was moving through all the wolf spiders. I mean, they were
Oh
everywhere.
yeah,
I was like, whoa.
Now, they will bite you. They
They sure
not
will.
often, but they will.
And I was the
if you-
idiot wearing shorts through the whole entire
Yeah,
investigation
now
too, so that was my
they
fault.
do bite if they're cornered up or whatever, and it doesn't feel good. I'll
No.
tell you that.
No.
But they're
See, I
not.
couldn't do
They're not
that.
venomous. What's that?
I hate bugs. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, a good thing a spider's not a bug.
It's a bug.
It's an arachnid.
It's kind of a bug.
No, it's still a bug to you.
Dear
isn't it?
Digger on Facebook said there's been a few Bigfoot sightings, but they've all been him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
He also said Brochella looked awesome, and from what he heard, sounded great. So.
Oh, thanks.
Oh
man.
yeah, no, Brochella, man, y'all killed it out there. It was packed out, man.
It was a fun one, man. We had just under 1,000 people there. It was a great first show. Shot a live music video. Hung out with the Save and Able dudes for a bit.
I like Saving Abel.
Oh yeah, they're great guys, man. They're great guys.
Yeah, they came through a couple years ago and played at West End.
Oh, did
When
they?
West End was there.
Back when it was there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and believe it or
I
not,
hadn't
I
thought
can't
about
remember the
that
lead
in
singer's
years.
name, but he came over to our table. We sat there drinking beer, and I looked at him and said, "Aren't you the lead singer?" And he goes, "Shh." We just hung out drinking beer.
That's funny.
Ended up being the janitor.
Yeah.
No, it was actually him because
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a dude named Billy Don Burns?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah. What?
There you go, Scotty.
Yeah.
All right. Who said that? Scotty wanted to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he had messaged and asked if I would
She
ask
said-
you. He said apparently he claims he's a big deal in Nashville, but he hasn't heard of him, so he figured he'd ask you. And if you hadn't heard of him, then he figured.
Well, that
he's-
doesn't mean he's not a big
Yeah, I
deal,
mean,
right?
he
What does
totally
do?
could. Yeah, I mean, like, there's so many different like avenues of stuff in Nashville that, like, I mean, who am I? You know what I mean? Like, just because I don't know him doesn't mean anything.
right.
But no, the Brochella was fun though, man. We got the world premiere for the new single next week. I don't know when they're announcing the details of the world premiere, but it's going to be good. Just
Yeah, I'm very excited for you. I saw the clip of that.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget we got Ark and Brawl going on this weekend, by the way.
do you?
I've been meaning to slip it in there
Well, tell
somewhere,
everybody
so.
about it for a second.
Ark and Brawl 2, you know,
Yeah.
the Moose Lodge in Saline County.
That's how you want to roll this?
Yeah, that's how, no, my mind went
Get
blank,
your shit
man.
Together.
Right.
We'll take a break and we'll come back and you can talk about it. I don't even know what just happened. Josh Taylor over at First Horizon just did it again. I just had another first-time home buyer, a couple who got into a home. Literally, they paid $500 to get into this home. That's right, $500 total dollars is what they paid to get into their new home. Why? Because First Horizon Bank has grant money that they offer, whether it's income-based, you're a professional, or a first responder. They have grant money for all of that, and it can help pay your down payment, your closing cost, and more. Josh is good people. He's just like you and I, and he can help you out. Look, you want to get into a house for $500? Yeah, Josh Taylor's the guy to call. 351-2579. It's 351-2579. Josh Taylor over at First Horizon Bank, and you tell him that Patrick sent you, all right?
It's hard staying calm while I'm under attack. Just like that. Outside agitators have somehow made it inside. All these wannabe dictators, none on the same side, but they all aim to divide. How can we reach higher if we're down on the ground? Shots fired, it's that kind of small town. Nobody locks their doors, but too many killers around. Hey, if you have to die, it's better in a ball gown. We've got hard tongues and cotton souls. Is time telling us, or do we tell time? Rolled up sleeves and nowhere to go. Bit into an apple but got a mouthful of lime. Your tattoo says it's us until the end, but your lips are saying you're through. I guess even words in ink can be bent. Maybe we didn't use the right glue. How can we reach higher if we're down on the ground? Shots fired, it's that kind of small town. Nobody locks their doors, but too many killers around. Hey, if you have to die, it's better in a ball gown. Reload. Surrounded by bad players, we have to get back to back. Do we even have a prayer facing down these attacks? Just like that. Caught in the crossfire, assassins out to close the deal. Zero chance we survive if we can't find each other for real. Killers come to kill. How can we reach higher if we're down on the ground? Shots fired, it's that kind of small town. Nobody locks their doors, but too many killers around. Hey, if you have to die, it's better in a ball gown. Rat-a-tat-tat, reload. Rat-a-tat-tat. Punch the clock, it's Friday. We getting together tonight. Hit the liquor store, dispensary. Gonna get our heads right. A little chill in the air. Bonfire and plenty of wood. Laura let down her hair. No, it's about to get good. your friends. Got the whiskey, some decent wine, and oh yeah, tequila. Tonight it's money well spent, but the morning may kill ya. Every time one goes empty, here comes another keg. It's only 9 and Billy just fired up another hog leg. Got a bonfire in the backyard, oh yeah, chugging and chiefing. We passing bottles and blunts, getting deep into the evening. Everybody staying all the way to the end. Tell your mama and your cousin and all of your friends. We broke our backs all week to rock this backyard party. We made it to the weekend. It's all Blizzies and Bacardi. Got a bonfire in the backyard, oh yeah, chugging and chiefing. We passing bottles and blunts, getting deep into the evening. Everybody staying all the way to the end. Tell your mama and your cousin and all of your friends. Y'all come on, bring a little something with you.
All right, we are back. You said, hold on a second, Rich. Let me understand you. You said speed dating on TikTok is now a thing.
Apparently, I was scrolling through, just doom scrolling TikTok because I couldn't sleep worth a last night, man.
Okay.
I'd fall asleep for like 15 minutes and wake up like a shot out of a cannon. So I was
Yeah.
like, screw it, I'll just mindlessly scroll. But yeah, apparently there's like a whole bunch of creators on TikTok that are going live and doing like speed dating now, where they host the live and then you like request to join or whatever. And then they randomly pick people and bring them up, and they talk to each other for like 5 minutes or whatever, and go from
They
there.
probably don't even live near each other.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, you're just randomly
guess that's up
talking
to them.
someone across the planet that
Right.
you think you're going to make a love connection with.
you could. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to move to.
There was a guy yesterday that was like, he was talking, he was in Ohio, and the chick was in like Canada or something. So
I mean, I guess
sounds
that's
horrible.
relatively close. You know,
it was interesting to see nonetheless.
It does seem fun.
I didn't participate, but I definitely sat there and watched and got a good laugh out of it.
Yeah, you watched and got a laugh out of it. You were in queue, weren't you?
Yeah, no.
You were in
No.
just ended it before they got to you. Sorry, next time, Rich.
Sorry, too high.
It sounds like a fun idea. It doesn't sound like
There
something
was-
that would work out.
There was this one guy that they had like brought up there, and he was like, they asked him, they said, what are you looking for, age range wise and everything, and he got up there and he goes, with all due respect, I'm looking for just men, and he really meant to say women, and he caught himself, and he was like, and then he just like disappeared off the street.
Yeah, no, that's the best time to go ahead.
All right,
Yeah,
it was
that's
great.
probably a time to leave. Yeah.
So this is completely random, but for everyone in the chat, y'all know me. I've been trying to come up with a good prank call for Patrick and Rich to do while we're here, and I just had a random idea for one.
These random ideas always
Speed
get me.
dating on TikTok
well,
finally triggered it.
Well, like if y'all have any ideas too, y'all feel free to drop them in the comments too. You should call Chick-fil-A and tell them that you've got a chicken farm and that like you've got this one chicken that you just want to use for your meal, and if you bring the chicken up there, can they just use that to make your
That
meal?
is kind of funny, actually. That I've got a backyard chicken that I've been wanting to cook, but I'm not real good at it. Could I bring it up there? And
And then we know they're open.
Call KFC.
They're not open right now.
No, are they not?
No, Chick-fil-A's open. Right?
Chick-fil-A.
see, here's the problem with Chick-fil-A is they're so nice.
That's what's gonna make it.
That's what's
funny.
going to make it better.
That's what's going to make
All
it
right.
work.
Is that what we're doing, Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
All right, come on, let's do it. Let's do this.
Every time I'm in town, I make one of them do a prank call.
Right.
Rich,
Great. All right.
Rich, reach for the phone, so he's on it. He's going to talk to Chick-fil-A right now.
Oh, no, I'm just calling them. You're
Okay,
talking.
I'll do it. Fine, whatever, man. Jesus.
Hilarious. there, so they're fans of the
But
show.
but if y'all
They go,
start
"Patrick."
if you start giggling in the background, Shoemaker, Mr. Shoemaker,
Which
Then-
one do we want to call? Because there's so many of them.
Call the one
it
up-
doesn't matter.
call the one up
I
the
go
road.
McCain Boulevard,
That's what I was-
Sure, that
yeah.
sounds
Right.
great.
Chick-fil-A and McCain.
Yeah, that sounds great, man. Let's do it.
Thank you for calling Chick-fil-A McCain Boulevard. We are located at 4320 East McCain Boulevard in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Our restaurant is open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday through Saturday. If you would like to place a catering order, please press 1. If you would like to speak to someone about a recent experience, please press 2.
1 or 2.
If you would like
Two.
to speak to a member of our team,
Oh. What?
3.
That's fine.
thank you for calling Chick-fil-A Cares. Please listen carefully. Our options have
let's
changed.
start it over.
Jesus.
For information, we're sorry, but your selection was not recognized.
Yeah, hang it up
Please
and call
try
back. I think
again.
we're gonna do option 3.
Yeah, this is anticlimactic.
Thank you for
Who knew it had to
Chick-fil-A
take some-
All right, listen, I think it's going to be option 3.
At 4320 East McCain Boulevard in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Our restaurant is
They're in the
open
middle of
from
their
6
breakfast
a.m.
rush hour,
Monday through Saturday.
slinging these chicken minis like crazy.
Please press 1. If you would like to speak
Got a
to
line
someone
of
about
200 cars out front of
please press
McCain.
2. If you would like to speak to a member of our team, please press 3.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, I thought it was 3. As often, you went too early. That's what my mom said. That's some funky music.
Right.
I mean, you know. Jesus.
Chick-fil-A McCain.
Yeah, can I speak with a manager, please, man?
You speaking of one, how can I help you?
Oh, yeah. So, listen, I've got a backyard chicken, and I've had it for a while. It's mature. It's not a juvenile. And I want to eat it, but I don't know how to prepare it. If I bring it to Chick-fil-A, can y'all make it into a sandwich for me?
No, sir.
But y'all that's what you do is fried chicken.
We do, but our chicken's already dead.
Well, no,
Process.
so I need to kill it first and just bring it up dead?
We still won't do it, sir.
I'm hungry.
Well, leave the chicken there and come here and get our chicken.
I think it's got bullets in it.
Oh, well, then we sure don't want that, then.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Very sad.
I loved her response. Well, come up here and get one of our chickens.
They're too nice, man. You can't break a Chick-fil-A employee; they'll get fired.
She was
You
trying
can
hard
say
not to
anything.
laugh.
No, she wanted to laugh. I could have called her and said, "Listen, I'd like to wear your pantyhose right now." She'd be like, "Well, I can't do that. I'm sorry."
So there was one other idea I had from Chat.
Oh, my God.
Keep it up real quick. So you remember that Dollar General
Don't
that we
say
called
that,
the
pause.
very first time?
Yeah, about the toilet paper.
That Dollar General that we called where the dude got mad at you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Man, there's people trying to work
This
here
is
and
a
y'all
place of
playing on the
business.
phone.
So what I want you to do is you call him. This might be a good one for you. And essentially, every time the dude goes to talk, be like, "No, you go ahead. I'm sorry, bro." Like you keep on cutting him off to let him know that he's good to talk. To the point where he just gets like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're just like, "Hey, how's it going?" And then like as soon as he starts talking, "No, your turn, man. You go ahead. You got the floor." Like you just do it over and over again.
So just as soon as he starts talking, just, "Hey, man, yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
You go ahead, yeah."
And by the time he finally lets you just ask him if ducks are allowed in the store. Just so random.
Well, so are you doing this? You're calling it?
I guess.
This is on you, man.
All right.
This is your call, not mine.
All right.
See, this is what happens when Luke comes around. Dumb
Right.
shit pops off around here.
But you gotta like really just do it for forever and ever on the.
Is that DG? They're not even open at 7:30, are they?
Said it was open on Google.
Did it?
Yeah.
I didn't know they opened that early.
We'll try a little later.
Yeah, we'll come back to it.
Yep, we'll come back.
All right, so let's move on to this for now. Most of us think we know what we're looking for when it comes to dating, whether we're focused on height, smile, eye color, whatever. But below the surface level swipe right features, there may be some subtle features that attract your attention. Maybe you don't even know. A new survey digs deeper to find out what really, allegedly, turns us on. So they polled over 3,000 men and women from every state to see what unconventional traits people are most into. The research suggests that across the country, preferences for understated features vary as much as accents. So posture is the top subtle turn-on for states that include Alabama, Colorado, Mississippi, and North Dakota.
All right.
Allegedly. Folks in more than 10 states, including Arkansas, Arizona, Florida, and New York, find facial expressiveness the most attractive low-key trait. Facial expressiveness. Boy, I can't get a word out today. Proving it's not what you say, but how you say it. Tone of voice is the top trait in Louisiana, Missouri, North Carolina, and Tennessee. Any of those, expressiveness, the sound of the voice, posture, factor into your, dating profile?
You're speechless, man.
No, no, you don't care if they're hunchback. You don't care if they sound like this. Hey, sugar.
Listen, I've always said I'll know that I've
Come
met.
to mama.
That's wild. I've always said that I'll know I've met my wife if she randomly surprises me with concert tickets to go see Nickelback. I'll buy a ring the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if it was rich?
Well,
No, I got you. Rich, what about you? Posture, sound of the voice, or would it facial expressiveness? Do any of those factor into what you might be interested in?
I mean, I was going to say, I don't know that it would be like off the bat, but like those are things that I have noticed before when, interested in someone. I mean, posture is, that kind of displays confidence. Number one.
Yeah.
And then number two, yeah, there's, I don't know, some people's voices do sound better. Like you said, I don't want to be, shacking up with Marge Simpson's sister. Or anything,
Right. No, I got you. I'm not going to name the states, but let's go down this list. So what about for you single guys, the smell of a person?
Oh,
Scent,
for sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
Whatever.
Yeah, dude, no.
Yeah. No stinky people.
Yeah, if you don't pass the smell test, you're,
All right.
you're
Hand gestures?
like talking with your hands or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
depends on the gesture.
You're okay. What about eyebrows? Do you have a preference, by the way? Thick
I mean, as
and
long as it's
eyebrows,
not a
does it matter?
unibrow.
Does it matter? And as long as it's not a unibrow, okay?
I say as long as it's not drawn on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they've overplucked and they have to,
Be you.
A guy who smuggles midgets can be choosy. Mr. Armadillo in his pants, you mean? Anyway, so what about eyebrows, Rich? That plays a factor or no?
I said as long as they don't have a unibrow.
Okay, what about you, Rich? I mean, Luke.
I'm sorry, this just gave me an idea.
It's like herding cats around this bitch.
You call Walmart and ask them what backpacks they have that are the best for.
For carrying midgets?
Yeah, dude.
For carrying a little person in. That is
Don't call the one in Sherwood. There's one working there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be funny.
Oh,
We've got
that'd
them on
be
the phone,
great.
actually.
Right.
They'd be like, "Oh, I've tried this one." All right. What about eye color?
Oh no! Don't do this.
What about eye color?
I don't even know my eye color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, what does this?
I mean, these aren't like.
No. What does this tell you about men? We don't give a shit. Really, you don't.
Yeah.
We don't. We don't give a shit about any of the things that you think we give a shit about.
All right.
When people ask me the color of my eyes, I literally have to check my driver's license.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know.
That's you could just look in the mirror as well.
It requires energy, though.
Yeah, I understand. What Matt? Do any of those things matter to you? When you were single?
I mean, you got to be attracted to someone at the bat. And the first thing I'd always notice in somebody would always be like their smile.
Yeah.
In all honesty, is their smile. And
Yeah.
if you hear them laugh, I don't care what kind of laugh it is, they laugh. and that generally shows you they're a happy person. And that's the kind of person I want to hang out with.
Yeah.
I don't want to hang out with somebody who's brooding all the time. I don't want, I would never talk to anybody who's just sitting there on their phone, kind of hunched over, staring at it, just kind of scrolling at the end.
Yeah.
Either having a really bad day and they don't want to talk to you anyways, or they're involved into their own little world. And
To me, eyes matter, but not the color necessarily. It's the way that we communicate with eyes.
Yeah.
That matters to me. That was always something that I looked for was
yeah,
that.
because what drew me to Talina out the bat when I met her 15 years ago is when I walked in the door when I was working, she was working, is she looked up and smiled.
Yeah.
And I was like, hi.
Yeah, right,
So,
right.
that was,
Yeah, see, guys, we're not nearly. I think we get a bad depiction that we care about our physical traits, and I think honestly most of us don't give a shit.
No.
And it's hard for anyone. It's hard, especially for women, because they'll be like, "Well, you're not me, so you don't understand how I feel," and I get that, But I'm like, I don't care if you put on 10, take off 10. Well, it doesn't matter to me. I couldn't give a shit less.
Yeah.
Now you may feel a type of way about it, but I don't.
Yeah.
I just like you. You know what I mean? And if you're cool, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
What about you, man? Are you kind of that way?
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, it's more,
Yeah, I want somebody who wants to have fun, who wants to enjoy life.
So if you're a lady, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I am, put on 10 pounds, you wouldn't give a shit.
Not at all.
Yeah. Or took off 10 for that matter. Didn't matter.
I probably wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
And if she's still watching right now, she's probably writing a list for me to yell at me about. I'm just kidding.
No, you're in big trouble now. No,
I mean, I think that initial attraction, like those all sound like very, these might be what things that I look for if I'm going to approach somebody and initialize the conversation,
Right.
and try. But as far as like I don't know, those main things of if you don't match these, I don't even want to talk to you or anything.
Does hair color matter?
No.
Hair color? No. Okay.
Short hair, long
height,
hair? No.
Height? Does height matter? If she's,
I mean,
as long as she's not 6'2". I'm kidding. Somebody
hey,
may want a
you know what?
6'2" chick.
right?
I don't care.
Especially if you're 6'4".
I get up on the-
If I was single, I don't care whether she was 6'2", 5'2".
No, it does. None of that matters.
No, I don't care. It all comes on down to who the person really is, how real they really are.
So-
in a world full of fake internet,
Yes.
filter, everything, somebody who's just legitimately real.
Right.
And hey, let's talk.
So let me ask this question. You often hear, or I have often heard, through lots of different sources, that porn, for example, creates unrealistic expectations in men. What is the unrealistic expectation that it's creating in your mind, if there is one?
There isn't.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I get that every chick doesn't yell at the top of her lungs. I mean, sometimes you can't even do that with the kids next door. It's not practical. But I'm saying, but beyond that, I mean, what's the unrealistic expectation that they like certain things more than they really do?
I think it has to. I mean,
It's
I
a
think
fantasy. Porn is a fantasy with
sure it
actors
is.
and actresses acting out a fantasy.
Right.
Acting out a fantasy.
Right. But I mean, it's not really much different than. I mean, the only difference is it's more dramatic, the sex they're having. But I'm saying it's all the same, really, when you boil it down, isn't it?
Yeah, not everybody can be folded up into a pretzel.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
Let's just be honest. I mean, not every plumber out there looks like that, or housewife
most of them,
looks
I
like
hope
that.
they don't.
Exactly, but I mean, there's, and the only thing is, the reason why I think it's another attack, it's another version, and I'm about to go down this road. Sorry, everybody, but men get attacked more than women do. And this right here is a prime example.
You
of
don't
that.
mean physically. You
No,
mean,
I mean actually. So
mean
our
societally.
expectations. Yes, I mean to where you're not. It's almost like you're not allowed to be a man anymore. You go to the woods, you go do this, you go do that. If you're a blue collar guy, you work hard, and come home dirty and grungy, and you're not jumping in and taking care of the kids, and you're not jumping in and cooking. Understand? I do that stuff. I have a blue collar job, but that's helping my partner out. And there's days I can't do that because of how tired I am because of the job that we have. And you see so many videos out there, some of these ladies like going, well, I've got 3 kids and my man better be, my next man.
Yeah.
And that's now acceptable for society to do that. But a guy can't come out and go, I don't want to date somebody with kids already. I don't want to date somebody who's
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Has all this.
I
baggage.
think too that relationships are defined by the couple, not by society. So, in other words, people may have what quote unquote traditional relationship, right?
Yeah.
Where maybe the lady doesn't work and she stays home, and by choice, she is the domestic goddess, and you go out and you bring home the bacon, right?
Right.
That if that's what you agree on, then who gives a shit?
And it works for you. Yeah.
If it works for you and your family. I mean, there were a number of years where Laura didn't have a traditional job. She did manage our careers as far as bookings and different things like that. But she stayed home. But we discussed it many, many times to be with the boys and be able to help them and make sure they got what they needed done. That was our choice.
Yeah.
Now, did we have to, cut things back or take less in some area to do that? Yeah, of course we did. But it was a choice that we made. But it wasn't because I said, oh, you're going to stay home. You're not getting a job and you're going to take care of these youngins. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, she'd have beat the hell out of me.
Oh yeah.
Trust me, anybody that knows Laura knows I would never say that without going, I'm joking.
Well, with me and Talina, so we have, her job sometimes can work really long hours than I can, and with weekend work, everything else like that. And that's when, I'm taking care of the household and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And that's not because of, gender roles or anything. I hate that term too.
Yeah.
But it's a family role.
Yeah.
It's a couple role.
Well, that's what I mean is that, gender or however you want to call it these days is only defined by what you and the person you're with agree to, right? I mean, ultimately, it's whatever you guys are happy with. Who cares?
Yep. But society will attack you for it.
That's why some people like being, spanked with paddles and shit. That's not my bag.
Nope.
I'm not lining up to get beat up by a chick, but somebody loves it. And that's fine. If
And
you
more
do.
power to them. Yeah.
No. I mean, that's fine if you do. It's
Right,
just
Rich?
like if you had
Right.
Yeah.
See, Rich, absolutely. Yeah. That was some humor into it.
I just paused right there. No, it's like if you identify as a platypus and you want someone to, mess up your beaver tail, that's your business, But do it in your house and have fun and live your best life, right?
Exactly. Be happy.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the challenges is that, it's not one size fits all, and sometimes the other side wants to say, no, it's this way, but I don't know that. I never felt an unrealistic expectation created by anything I've ever viewed.
Same.
You know what I mean? I never went back and went, hey, you see this? This is what you're supposed to be doing right here. Because, again, that would be an ass whooping. You understand? But yeah. I mean,
I think it more plays into the role of what's the best way to put it? The attractiveness of the performers.
Really?
Oh, we're going back
Creating
to
a
porn.
unrealistic.
He brought it right back to porn.
No. I disagree. I agree and disagree. I mean, yes, are there some that are attractive? Yes.
Right.
But I guess relatively they're all attractive depending on who you are, right? But I'm saying, there are thick chicks.
Right.
There are real thick chicks. Mm-hmm. There are big guys. I mean, there's every denomination you can find, every flavor, every variation is out there.
Right.
Little person, handicapped person, missing a leg person, which is surprising. Never mind. There's a variety, so it doesn't matter what your flavor is. I think, to be honest, porn might be the most inclusive thing out there. I mean, you can watch anybody hook up with anybody.
Yep.
Any shape, any size, doesn't matter. It's probably the most inclusive thing of all.
And it goes right back to what I was saying before, too, though. It's a fantasy. It's a movie.
Yes.
I mean, you're watching, people having intimate relations with each other in a fantasy acting setting.
Yeah.
It's not a natural form. It's not none of that at all. And it's for entertainment.
Yeah.
And people have been using that as a form of entertainment for millennia.
Oh, yeah. No, trust me, whether it was a photograph or whatnot.
Or even live shows.
I was getting ready to ask. I was getting ready to ask a question that I forgot it. Damn, it was a good one too.
What about let's take the argument of as you were saying, it's inclusive. It has everything out there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you like something.
Yes.
that your partner doesn't like.
Okay.
You like, I mean, outside of that, relationship is great. You don't argue, whatever. You're all, best partner you could ask for.
Sounds
but that,
like a normal life.
right. But that one thing
Yeah.
doesn't get, that just doesn't get
That
answered
button's
for
not
you. That
getting
button's
pushed.
not getting pushed.
Well, you have
so
to
you go and
decide.
watch it, and then all of a sudden you start, well, hey man, I mean, I'm at least getting that button pushed some way. I'm missing out.
Well,
so
that's
you
fine.
start-
I think that's fine.
Well,
too.
okay, so the last statement you just said, I'm missing out. One, if you feel that way in any relationship, whether it's perfect, put that one button, then you need to get out of that one. But if you are using it to get off and saying, okay, my button's not being pushed here, but I'm not, I'm happy with what I have, but this
Right.
is just my every once in a while little kink. Let me get,
Yeah.
And as long as you're not involving another person
I
into
think
the
if it's not
relationship,
taking
yeah.
away from the relationship
See,
you have, that's fine.
And that's where I think
But
you're
the other-
saying it creates unrealistic expectations
other-
because somebody gets this. Sorry,
Right, no.
somebody gets that button pushed, and then they keep pushing that button, and then eventually it becomes, well, if I can get this here, it's got to be out there somewhere.
It probably is out there.
It is out
somewhere.
there, yeah.
I mean, factually speaking, it's all out there somewhere.
But here's the thing.
But there's a lot more to it's a combination of everything. But even if there's something that you're seeing on there, right, and you're like, oh yeah,
That does it for
that
me.
does
yeah.
it for me. Okay, maybe your person's not willing to do that, but they maybe ancillary to that. Maybe you can work around. You can get close to it, but not quite. I mean, there's ways you
Yes.
can make that. If you're the bottom line, really, if I'm being honest, is communicating with your partner.
Yes.
And that's what the number one thing is. People are afraid to say because it sounds weird. When you say things out loud, like I like blank, I like to put it blank.
But here's the big thing,
Yeah.
too. It's time that we all acknowledge that the prequel trilogy in the Star Wars series is worthy of love, and that it's been validated with the failure that the sequel trilogy was.
I'd rather watch
I-
Mad Max Beyond Thunderbone.
Oh, good Lord.
Forrest Hump.
Okay, I would go for the prequels versus the sequels.
Thank you.
Every day.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I can't do the sequels.
Yeah,
Can't
no,
do
I
it.
agree.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I cannot do it. And it's horrible because they had a great cast.
Yeah.
And Adam Driver's from Little Rock, so
I am so lost
No,
in
he's not.
conversation
Yes, he
right
is.
now.
I mean, it was a great cast.
He is.
No.
Yes.
Horribly, I did not know that either.
he's not born in Little Rock, but he grew up. His dad literally works on Markham.
Really?
His name's Joe Driver. Yeah.
How
I like
cool is
to say
that?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
you
man,
just
never-
outed him. Way
You
to
sure
go.
did.
Oh, my bad.
Way to dox him. Now everybody's on Markham looking for Joe Driver. Where's
Right.
Joe Driver?
Hey, I didn't say where he worked, though. I didn't
Yeah.
say where he worked.
Yeah, just the name of the street. What business was it?
It's wild.
But no, you're right. Yeah, the prequels were 1,000 times better than the sequels.
Thank you. I'm getting
He's
fed up
talking
big old
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars half sleeve.
There you go.
The bottom side's going to be the prequel trilogy. And then Vader connects it, and then it's going to be the OT up top.
So the prequel are the new Star Wars.
No.
No, those are the old ones with
So you had Han Solo, Luke Skywalker,
Harrison Ford and all that. Those are the
was- that's the
prequels.
originals.
The OG
Okay.
are 4, 5, and 6, technically, right?
Yeah, and then 1, 2, and 3 started in '99.
Yeah, those were the
But those were
Samuel
the
L. Jackson,
newer ones when
Little
they're the
McGregor,
little Anakin and
Yeah,
all
little,
that.
yeah. You see Anakin grow into Darth Vader and stuff.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
There were some parts that weren't written right. Whatever. We could have criticized it all day long.
But the ones that come after that is what you don't like. Somewhere right about mid Return of the Jedi, I'm done with Star Wars. That's where
it was
I'm
the
at.
Ewoks.
Yeah.
The Ewoks. Yeah.
The Ewoks killed it. I mean, it's like.
But
no.
again, too, you got to remember though. So Star Wars was
I know,
originally
I know.
written for kids,
I know.
Yeah.
and so it's still going on for kids. What they did with the sequels
Was dumb.
was beyond dumb,
Now,
and
What
people get
what
attacked
do
all
you
the
mean
time
by
for
that?
well, the big thing is they just didn't have a plan for the sequel trilogy.
Well, they
No.
just kind of repeated what they already did. I know the last time, what was it, The Force Awakens? We talked about it before.
See, that one I enjoyed.
Which one was it that's a spot-on remake? of
Force Awakens.
Force
Yeah.
Awakens.
I mean, was it enjoyable? Sure, but I'd seen it all before in a better version.
Yeah, I felt like
mean,
that.
to be
Hey,
honest-
I've seen this. You know,
Yeah.
it's like- and it just horrible. And but some Solo was a good movie.
Solo was good.
I did
Is it
enjoy
good?
Solo.
I
I
haven't seen
I did
Solo.
enjoy Solo.
Was it good? I'll go watch it.
Oh yeah, Solo was good. Disney's had a
Someone
couple
said
of
Rogue
moments.
One.
Rogue One
that
is
a good one?
single-handedly
Rogue
one
One,
of the greatest Star
amazing.
Wars movies ever
Really?
made.
Amazing. Yeah, Rogue One's one of my
Who's
favorites.
in that one?
That's a spoiler. If you say it, you know. Like
Yeah.
if
I
you
just
say
meant,
anything, it's a
Is there
spoiler.
a main character in it?
You could say
There's a
that.
couple of them.
Oh, Jesus.
But
Okay.
okay, did you watch Andor?
I need to.
What is
I've
that?
gotten
Season
started
one,
on it.
season one, and season two.
I mean, a movie or
It's a
series?
series on Disney Plus. It's
Okay.
about it leads into Rogue One, and what's really neat, I enjoyed that one. It does show a lot of the political intrigue that was going on during the galaxy at that time. It shows, the build up of. And I got friends who I did not need to watch 2 episodes of them making little spindle things for the Death Star, but it's showing that.
Showing that slow burn.
Slow.
Yeah, if you're into that universe, there's nothing that's too minuscule or minimalist for you because you eat it up. It's like for me, Aliens. I love that
it.
universe.
Love it. Same.
And I can't get enough of that universe. I even watch the Predator ones just to see the aliens because I like the Xenomorph. I think it's the best movie monster in history.
Well, Blade Runner exists in that universe too, like in the Alien Predator universe.
Yeah, but I would have watched Blade Runner get taken out by an alien because it was so slow. Jesus Christ!
No,
It's like what was the Close Encounters of the Third Kind? Oh my God!
Yeah.
Jesus, could you get any slower?
Have I told you my Close Encounters story?
No.
About this movie in particular.
Okay.
So we were talking about movie theaters earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. This is back when I worked at that one on Rodney Parent. You're absolutely right, Turkey, by the way. Clone Wars.
Ties
Rebels,
Amazing.
Bad Batch, all that stuff. So good.
Oh, Bad Batch was great. Clone Wars
it's
was
so
great.
good. Tales of the Empire, Tales of the Jedi.
Yep.
But there was one day when I was working at the movie theater, and back then when this theater was open, they would have you do something called theater checks, where you walk in and you just kind of creep your head around, just to be sure everything's good, nothing crazy's going down.
Yeah, like nobody took a dump in a seat
100%. Yeah.
and waited to hear the squish when somebody sits down because it's funny.
That's actually. We're gonna circle back. We're gonna circle back to that.
What?
But
You never did that.
that's insane, dude. But
It's just kids being kids, right?
so it was a
Goes back to the earlier
I told
conversation.
my son it'd be funny if he did it.
dude. So it was a Tuesday afternoon, and do y'all remember the movie Jupiter Ascending?
I
Never seen
remember it
it.
coming
Yeah.
out.
So it had Channing Tatum and Mila Kunis in it.
Yeah, I almost watched it because of Mila Kunis. I didn't because of Channing Tatum.
Yeah. Well, it was crazy because I walk in and it's this one older gentleman, and he's the only dude in the movie. And I'm going to clean the theater and do a theater check, and I said, "Yeah, man, what'd you think of the movie?" And he looked me dead in the eyes and he said, "I loved how accurate it was." And I just for a millisecond went through a whole process in my
He
brain.
must have meant relative to the book.
Well, no. I asked. I shouldn't have asked him this, but I did. I said, "Wait, what do you mean by that?" And he's like, "Well, I don't tell many people this, but he said he was a secret agent for this and
Oh,
for
yeah.
that
Oh,
and that."
yeah, this is
And-
great.
And he said that Close Encounters of the Third Kind was based on a true story.
Oh, sure it was,
And that
yeah.
there's nations that harvest the energy from souls to fuel spaceships, he legitimately had me there for about 17 minutes.
Okay,
on
I'm going to
this
freak
whole-
you out.
Yeah.
So what I do,
Yeah.
the podcast research and digging all this stuff.
Yeah.
That is a really strong theory that's going around that a lot of
What's
that is
that?
actually just happening.
Really?
Yes. So
What
what you
is?
just described, harvesting souls, ties into old biblical stuff. With the Nephilim, what they're doing, the interdimensional crap, the experiments that they're doing on us, what the aliens are and stuff like that. So what you just said right there. So I was sitting there going, "Yep, I've heard this story before. I know." Yeah. So there's
Crazy.
so there's a lot that goes into it. They tie in. It's crazy. It really is. But that's one of those rabbit holes. When you start going down that rabbit hole, you need to climb back out sometimes because
Speaking-
it's bad.
straight up.
Speaking of that, I watched the original Stargate the other day.
Classic.
That's a
I
good
forgot
movie,
about
man.
that one.
Love
That's
it.
a good movie. Now, I never watched anything after that, but that movie, and I
just
didn't
did the
watch
mo-
the
yep.
series or
Nope,
anything.
I just did
but
the
that
movie.
movie was dope.
Yeah.
It was a good one, man. I wish they would have made a sequel.
Well, if
with
you think
those
about
guys
too
in
on
it.
that movie right there, look at Stargate and how they wrote it, what they talk about with and tied in with Earth, how they would transport back and forth.
Yeah.
And you look at the Egyptian gods that they had, and the armor, the outfits
it's
that,
at least
that they used.
It's at least somewhat reasonable.
Very plausible.
Plot-wise, I mean,
Very,
it's at
very
least
plausible.
somewhat right.
Very,
I
it's
thought-
very
I thought
plausible.
the plot was somewhat feasible.
Yeah, because if you look, so the cool thing about Egypt and ancient Egypt is nobody can really say anything about the pyramids or who built the pyramids. There's hieroglyphics about them, but there's nothing stated that we built it. We were raised for
built this
years.
City. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we were raised for years thinking that the pyramids were built for tombs.
There is some weird
There's
stuff
no
with the
there's
pyramids.
no dead bodies into the pyramids at all.
Yeah.
And if you look at the Sphinx and the pyramids, there's actually water erosion They actually have evidence of water erosion on them. So they had to be built pre-flood.
I'll tell you this, man. Have you looked into the stuff that Tom DeLonge's talked about? You know who that? So people owe that dude an apology, man. So Tom DeLonge, he's back with Blink-182 now.
Right,
But
right,
he was
right.
the OG singer, and he dipped to go investigate a whole bunch of stuff, and like he even went and did like Joe Rogan and all this stuff, and people really like.
What was he talking about?
I mean, everything he's talking about, in addition to
Why do they owe him an apology?
aliens, and because they all called the dude crazy, and like they
I mean,
all
have they proven anything he said yet?
Yeah, the government came out and said it's real.
yeah.
Well, they didn't say aliens were real. They said UAPs are real.
No, they said interdimensional beings were real.
Yeah, and
I don't recall hearing or seeing that anywhere.
Here, what
That
I
was
want you
2
to
years
do,
ago.
go on Google June 2020, the Pentagon confirms they have vehicles in their possession not made on this world.
Yeah, and again, ready? Again, what was the year?
2020,
And what was going on right in the middle of
COVID.
the pandemic they dropped it.
Yep.
And everybody it was a blip on the radar and went away.
Right.
Yep.
And then in 2022 is when they had the big congressional hearings where they stepped forward and said, yes, there are interdimensional beings. There are beings that we have, entities that are not.
And have you read the whole report with the former Israeli space defense minister? Have you looked into that?
No, I have not looked into that one yet.
So this was like 2019, 2020. He claims that there's like whatever is out there, it's sophisticated enough that they have like communication with it. And apparently like there was possibilities of like countries like trying to blow the whistle on it. And
I
then,
see
like, this whole-
whistleblowers saying this. I don't see the government saying, "Yeah, no, we definitely have this."
You know, that's when they released the footage.
But I believe that you can find it for me and I'll look at it.
Well, so you got to remember, so when you're trying to do stuff like this, there's a theory. So right now, Dogman in the cryptid world is huge.
Who?
Dogman. Right?
Dogman.
I know. So if you try and Google
I
Dogman.
saw him in the Mummy
I was
movie.
winning there for a minute,
Yeah,
man.
well, Anubis. So, but if
Yeah.
you look at Dogman,
That's right, Anubis.
if you try and Google Dogman, you're going to get the new animated movie in comics. And you're going to have to go through
Oh, okay.
pages and pages to dig into it.
Yeah.
Another one is we all heard the rumor that Walt Disney's dead. He's frozen
Oh, yeah.
underneath
Right.
Disney.
Right.
Now Google Disney Frozen.
It's a movie.
Yes, all you're going to get. You have to dig and dig and dig to try and find it.
Oh,
So-
it's like almost like a psyop.
So as soon as
Cover up
so the funny part about the Dogman thing is a year ago you Google Dogman, you were going to get cryptid reports. You're going to get a whole bunch, things coming
Yeah.
in. They dropped this movie. Nobody ever heard this comic book before. Nobody heard of this cartoon. Nothing. All of a sudden, this movie drops.
Right.
Kids are going crazy over this thing, and it's hidden.
Yeah.
So you have to go through and dig and dig and dig to try and find it. So
Look at what little doggy just said, talking about Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
That stuff's wild too.
okay, so the
zombies?
Skinwalker Ranch, they're never going to solve
What
that.
about the Scape War Swamp Monster? Swamp Lizard Man.
What?
The what?
I've never heard of this.
Man, y'all are dumb.
I'm looking. I was like, what are you
The
looking at?
Scape or Swamp Lizard Man. You don't know him? Never heard of him?
Okay, there's like a frog
That's
man.
out of
There's a-
South Carolina.
Yeah, there's a frog man, there's a lizard
Yeah.
man, there's a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah.
And I think in some of these cases, it's actually a misidentification of another creature.
You could learn more about him if you go to Amazon and download Cold Blood Hot Love by me.
Now, what do you?
That's right. It's a creature erotica story that I wrote, and it's damn good.
Now, what do y'all think of the Gurdon Lights?
What's the Gurdon light?
Okay, so that ties in line with the muffler lights in Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I just did an episode with that with the
It
guy.
was just a bunch of dudes with flashlights back in the 60s, man.
No,
Come
they're
on.
still happening right now. It's almost like
I've
a
been
time
to
they've
Gurdon.
been.
The beautiful woodlands of Gurdon.
Have you seen the light?
Do you know it was there for a long time? A rehab. They were all high, man.
That's wild.
I see that you're playing solitaire and doing well at
I
it.
won, man.
That's great, man. I'm glad you're here.
I am.
It's great to
I
have
am.
you
This
on
is a
the
great
journey.
conversation, man.
You know, what time is it?
It's 8:07.
8:07.
Dollar General's open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it's time for. Hold on. It's time for this, and we'll be back in just a minute. You know, a lot of times you might not hear cool and attorney in the same line, but when I'm talking about Riggin Law, you will, because Kristen Riggin and her crew are just cool people. Going to an attorney can be intimidating. and you feel like you're being talked down to. They're talking in legalese, and it's scary. Not with Kristen. She's going to break it down to you just like I would, sit there and talk to you, kind of work it out and figure it out in the fair and right way. Doesn't matter if it's divorce or custody or if it's elder law. They do a lot of stuff to help out with court situations where you may have a family member who's died and you've got something going into probate. Man, you don't want to argue with your siblings over that. Don't put yourself in that position. That's what Riggin Law does. They'll help you work through the probate and all of that. If you've got a custody issue, even a criminal issue, it doesn't matter. Kristen can help you. And man, they are an amazing group of people. You can give them a call, 249-1289. It's 249-1289. Or just go to rigginlaw.com and tell Kristen we sent you.
That you left me just to know how deep despair can be. And when we're cast in this tragedy, you say the meanest things to me. You tell me that I don't matter, and I never probably did. Everything in me shatters, like I was just a fragile kid. I tell you I can't imagine life without you, but fact of the matter, I already did what I can say I know to be true. It's the worst life I've never lived. In the midst of my dark fantasy, there's a moment when I broke. It was the way you looked at me, destroyed by how your eyes just spoke. I watched you leaving from the other side of the window. I was practically heaving, wondering where you'd go. I tell you I can't imagine life without you, but fact of the matter, I already did what I can say I know to be true. It's the worst life I've never lived. I wish I couldn't see this alternate life, one in which I don't wanna live. For anything I'll ever say, just promise me you'll forgive. I tell you I can't imagine life without you, but fact of the matter, I already did what I can say I know to be true. It's the worst life I've never lived. It's the worst life I've never lived. It's the worst life I've never lived. It's the worst life I've never lived.
I'm still fucking wrecked. Can't believe it's true. Never thought my soul would be crushed by you. I remember you standing there, telling me about how you care, that you'll stand by me anytime, anywhere. But that all changed at 9:07 p.m. Wouldn't believe you'd betray me until I walked in. In just a few seconds, you burned me to the core. You didn't even bother to close the door. Maybe I should have guessed by the way you dressed. Should I have gotten bent because you wore a new scent? I just figured maybe you were bored. Just my imagination, I thought I should just ignore. But that all but you're all assault. Hope it was worth wiping out everything I held true. I guess the trash takes itself out, nothing left to love but an old tattoo. But that all changed at 9:07 p.m. Wouldn't believe you'd betray me until I walked in just a few seconds, you burned me to the core. You didn't even bother, the tools closed the door.
Show me some paperwork, Tactical, and you got a deal.
What are you talking about?
He said, hey, Rich, Carmart says take a paintball and they'll waive the down payment. Drive away today for 0 down.
At America's Car Mart.
Yeah, have the manager send me over the paperwork and give me a call, and I'd do it for that. I really would.
They probably could work it out for you.
That's what I'm saying, you know?
They probably would over there.
If they want to, yeah. If you're serious, yeah.
What am I looking at here?
I don't know. What are you looking at?
My leg.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You want to see people?
There we
Why?
go. It's Patrick and the people.
Well, okay, fair enough. Listen to this description right here. Tell me if you'd read this book. Herpetologist Dr. Willow Bonerider lives empowered, self-made, self-assured, and full of herself. Dr. Bonerider just secured a major grant that'll take her to South Carolina on an adventure and take her to new heights. Could it take her life? When Willow comes face to face with the scape or swamp lizard man in Bishopville, South Carolina swamp, she gets a lot more than an urban legend, and so does the reader in this genre-breaking journey. Of course, along the way, passion explodes on the page for your reading pleasure. A lot. Fast-paced, irreverent, full of surprises, may not be the standard descriptors you associate with erotica, but after your mind decompresses from being repeatedly blown, you'll be glad you joined Willow and the other amazing yet lascivious characters on this adventure.
It's in my cart.
Yeah. You should read that one, everybody.
Without looking at your computer, how do you spell lascivious?
LASCIVIOUS.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go. Okay, cool. You did good.
I couldn't do it.
I got lucky on that
Yeah.
one, man. I was. You scared me for a second. I might forget where the C goes. I don't know.
I've been like L.E. Civius.
Yeah.
I'll give myself a little
There you go. That's good.
spelling bee thing right there.
Yeah.
All right. So, man, you were talking about your military experience. Is that something you don't talk about? Or
Nope.
No, what?
I don't talk about it.
Okay, fair enough then. That's good enough.
I've had people. I've had people come on the show. I've had people come on the show, and or I've been interviewed for other shows.
Yeah.
And they've always tried to be like, well, let's get into it. The only thing I'll talk about my military experience is, one, I had a great time, met some of the best people in the world
Yes.
I could possibly ever meet.
I know that's right.
You know what I mean? I served 11 years active, been all over the world, numerous places, met numerous people and places in the world that you probably don't want to go to. I always said that too. Like, the Army would always send you, like,
Yeah, they do
the
send you
worst
places
place.
you don't want to be.
Yeah, Fort Riley,
Every
Kansas.
base is almost shit.
Yeah, Fort Riley, Kansas. Let me just tell you right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fort Sill, Oklahoma is another special
I
one.
was born there, actually, in Fort
Yeah.
Sill. That's a fun-
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that shithole.
But, I don't, because I don't want my military experience to take away from the show, the research that I do.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
No, I do. I
So-
understand and respect it.
Yeah. So in my private life, because we have to have a private life for
Of
what
course.
we do. You have to have your own little
You
private
do,
life.
and that's why I asked,
Yeah.
because I want to be considerate of that.
Yeah. So
you know.
in my private life, though, we do a lot of things. I try and do a lot of outreach privately without getting acknowledgement for it and stuff like that.
No, I respect that.
We are working on another show on the podcast actually right now, and it is for veterans, and to be able to talk about PTSD, what happens, some of the steps. I'm a victim of PTSD. I'm a victim of men's mental health issues as well. Almost lost the battle. Almost became a 22 when
Yeah.
And by using my platform, what's cool, I've had others reach out and want me to help others.
Yes.
I did speak at the VA a couple times last year to some groups about the steps that I took and the journey that I've been on and where I'm at now. And where I'm at now, I'm about to have a film crew.
That's
I mean,
dope, isn't it?
right?
I'm about to we're about to start filming our own documentaries.
It's really what you're talking about is not allowing something to define who you are.
Right.
You're talking about, I've embraced my life such as it is, all that it is, and I'm enjoying that life.
Love it. I do.
No, I'm with you
I
100%.
do want to ask you one thing, and it's totally cool if you can't answer this. So
Okay.
just no hard feelings if you can't.
All right.
Based on everything you've seen during your service, is that part of what informed your curiosity to want to get started on the things you
On the
investigate?
cryptids.
No, so I grew up in northern Utah.
Yeah.
So in the Wasatch Front, outside of Ogden. My stepdad had a cabin in the Uinta Mountains, since we brought Skinwalker Ranch earlier, and our cabin was 30 miles as a crow flies from where Skinwalker Ranch is at. Now, during the 80s, we didn't know about Skinwalker Ranch. And we had some really weird encounters. My mom saw something up there in Uinta, so I grew up, though, with knowledge of Bigfoot and lived in a couple of haunted houses as a
And
kid.
polygamy.
Yeah. Well, no.
It's Utah.
It is Utah. But
assume
believe it or not,
it's polygamous.
it's a lot more outside of Utah than there is in Utah, which is
okay.
weird. Yeah, it was crazy. But we ended up just growing up with it. So when I joined the military, it kept running into weird things. I have the infamous encounter everybody wants to know about is the AHA event at Fort Hood, where something stalked me and my two guards all night long, and it was bad enough to the point where my guards were crying, begging to leave the guard site.
Really?
Yes.
That's wild.
It is. So that's been, I talked a little bit about my show. It's been featured on some other podcasts as well.
Yeah.
They love talking about it. But, the military, all it did, my experiences in the military and with what I used to do, they kind of enhanced and gave me more self-discipline. So when I am able to go into the woods, I am able to go into a haunted location, allegedly, on both of these. I have that discipline to go and say, okay, hold on, let's stop, let's look. We got growled at on Saturday. And can I tell you it was Bigfoot? No. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But something right there growled, and then immediately we had a tree knock. And then that night we had two things that were kind of huffing. But it was more of it was like a
Yeah.
kind of a huff.
That's just Bigfoot's getting it on, man.
Well, it is mating season. So
Your buddy clearing his throat back there.
Exactly.
somewhere, man.
Did you see anything that maybe reassured that curiosity, reaffirmed? Like, was there something that you was almost confirmation for you that you knew you were on the right path that you saw when you were in there? That's
in the military?
Beyond what he just said?
Yeah.
Well,
And that's pretty powerful.
well, I mean, no, that's powerful too. But
Well,
No, I think if I can kind of pick, and I may be completely wrong here, but it was kind of one of the questions that I was wondering, in your time of investigating and getting into, Bigfoot, was there ever a point where you were just kind of maybe I am just a little bit crazy? Maybe my cheese has slid off my cracker just a little bit? No, nothing?
I'm like a kid in a candy store. Every time I get a chance to go to the woods, I am grinning from ear to ear, and I am excited.
Yep.
I was right off the bat on Saturday.
What's up, Daniel?
I left my pack in my Jeep,
Yeah.
and we met the couple and the family. And right off the bat, she goes, "Well, there's the one track right over there." I was like, "Right there?" And she goes, "Yeah." So I looked, and I couldn't really tell was it a track or not. It had been raining, and Ray was trying not to mow around it, so the grass was growing up. I was going, I can't tell, but I was looking to see where it had come from. If it was a track, the direction it came in, and where it was going to go. And so in the first 15 minutes, I'm already in the woods. And Ray and Jacob are running to catch up with me, and I was like, "Oh crap! I'm on my pack. I can't, have my stuff with me." So I had to go backtrack and get my backpack. So I'm a kid in a candy store with it.
So
Love it.
Here's the question: is I think for you it's mainly body of work, because so many things that you've experienced. But was there one singular occurrence that confirmed to you that you're like, "Yep, that's the biggest thing I've ever experienced or felt or seen"? That I damn sure believe now. Was there a lock-in moment?
that's kind of what I would. Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
Okay, so the lock-in moment for me, besides living in haunted houses, on the cryptid side, was the AHA event.
Yeah.
That was it. I mean, we saw what could have been a handprint in '92 up in Hellhole Lake in the Uinta Basin. My mom found it. It was a year before I joined the military. But it was the AHA event, and that was probably one of the most scared evenings that I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
So, walk me through. Something was just following y'all, or what was?
We could be here. Well, I'll try and summarize it real quick. we were put on a ammunition holding area guard detail. And I was the NCOIC, non-commissioned officer in charge. I had 2 soldiers with me. When you do these detail, you do 24 on, 24 off, and then you do your regular work day. And then if it's a rotation, then you go back to the guard site. Mm-hmm. So it was my second rotation. The first night there, nothing. And that morning that I showed up to relieve the other NCO, I'm not going to drop any names on the air, and I don't do it on the show either. But I showed up to relieve Sergeant M. He looked exhausted, tired, because AHA duty is the most boring.
Yeah,
you
it's
sleep.
terrible.
I mean, you sleep all night long. You're bored to death.
Yeah.
And I got there, and he looked exhausted, like he hadn't slept all night long. And I was like, "Did you not sleep? I mean, what's up?" And he was like, "No, we had coyotes coming in. We had this and that." And I was like, "Okay, which is normal.
Yeah.
You know, coyotes will follow soldiers in the field. You know, we are pretty trashy, but I don't care what, you know."
Yeah, they look for the trash, the food to eat, things that are thrown out. Yeah,
Exactly.
they're scavengers.
So he goes, "They slept in the bed of his truck." And I was like, "Okay. I mean, how much food did you have? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did y'all have a pizza party out here? Where's it? You know, I mean, there's
Yeah.
no evidence." So we go throughout the day. You know, there's Burger King's involved. I sent the guys down to go get Whoppers, and they came back for like $20 worth of Whoppers. Now, remember, this is like '02, so $20 of Whoppers was a lot.
Yeah. It's like 700 Whoppers then.
Exactly. So, I mean, they take some of these Whoppers, and they go out and they plant little traps, and they're going to try and catch, you know, we're going to trap a coyote. You know, I'm like, "No, you're not. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, go feed the wildlife." That's pretty much what they're going to do.
Yeah, and that's all you're doing.
Yeah. So, with that evening's when it started, heard a weird noise. They heard a weird noise first, and they brought it up, and they described it as a canteen dropping on the ground, makes a thunk sound. So, and I heard a car go down the road, and it sounded like it hit something. It echoed back. I mean, that's what it was. And you guys are, you know, here I am, you know, big bad ranger guy. But then the noise, the lacking noise started.
The what noise?
Lacking noise. So, if you've been in the woods at night, all right, in August, in Texas, it's loud. Every insect is trying to hook up with every other insect. And
Yeah.
They're all screaming at each other.
That's true. No, that's true.
Loud.
Yeah.
To the left, no noise. Quiet. Eerily quiet. And it's just like, all right. And, you know, picking up on that, there's nothing there. And then it flipped from the noise level goes up, noise level comes down. So it just started kind of moving around us. Had a glow stick, i.e. chem light. I was using a read with and a little pan flashlight. Like I said, it's a sham detail. You're just sitting there.
Yeah.
And I was reading a book. The Humvee showed up, the drop-off spent brass and links from the Bradleys, and I met the driver. My guys were helping unload it and load up other ammunition, had to sign for it, count everything, make sure we were doing it right. And I was going to go grab my chem light, and I realized it was missing. And I expected one of the guys that possibly had it. Excuse me. I hate this story. I do. I mean, I don't hate it, but it just... So the chem light goes missing. The guys don't have it. The driver gives me a box of chem lights. He drives off. And the 2 kids are now like, something's up. And my thought is, okay, there's people out here messing with us. Maybe there's another training unit out here training. They're out here training. They think we're the, you know, the OP4.
Right.
So let's light up the area
Yeah.
with all these chem lights. Let them know that, hey, we're not playing.
We're not in the game.
Yeah, we're not in the game. We're not part of it. So I get to walk over to the ammunition area, which is probably about 20 feet from where we were hanging out at. Crack the first chem light, mark it up on the pole. We'll walk along the concertina wire, get the second one, crack it, I mark it, and I got a little pen light, you know, my little pen flashlight.
Yeah.
It's O2. So I go around the corner, and it's how it all happened simultaneously. I step into a cold spot, and it was so cold, I saw my breath in the flashlight.
Yeah.
And at the same time that happens, the weird thunk sound they described happened. So all this is simultaneous, and I'm trying to step back into the cold spot, and I'm looking to my left of where this noise came from. My guys are like, I mean, molesting me almost. That's how close they were to me.
Yeah. They were tripping.
Yeah, they're scared to death. And I was like, all right, somebody's out here. Again, somebody. So my whole mindset was somebody is out here.
Yeah. Somebody's either messing with us. It's another,
Another
NCO, or it's another unit.
It's another unit. Yeah, because we don't generally play jokes on people like that.
No, that's not.
In Hollywood, you will, but not.
Yeah, but no, not when people have guns. You don't normally play like
Well, that was the thing. We were unarmed, which wasn't supposed to be.
you weren't.
Yeah,
You
so when you're
weren't.
guarding ammunition, there's an SOP, standard operating procedures, supposed to go through, and the unit wasn't following any of these.
Yeah.
So,
y'all were out there unarmed when all this was happening.
and no radio. And cell phones were still really, really expensive.
Yeah.
So, I finished marking the perimeter. We go back. The noise thing happens, and I pull us out, and beside us was a thicket. A really, really good Texas thicket. And on the other side of that was a dirt berm that ran parallel, probably up above the second brick above the word Legion. And it kind of sloped on down, probably about 30 meters that way.
Yeah.
So I position us away from the camo net. We get in a little perimeter. Because at this point in time, you could hear things, you hear things moving.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, we're going to catch them. We're going to catch them. So we squatted down. We're there for about maybe 3 minutes.
So you got up on the berm?
No,
Oh,
beside
okay.
the berm.
Okay, beside it.
So we're kind of, hidden. And this thing starts walking towards me. You can hear it snapping twig, and it's bipedal, it's two-step. I mean, you know the difference.
Yeah.
It just slowly, steadily walking straight towards me. And it got about this far apart, distance-wise, and I was trying to silhouette it, the skyline, so I could see what it was. And I couldn't, so I turned my light on. Nothing was there. Again, everything simultaneously. Turn the light, boom, nothing there. And right here to the thicket, something jumps. Big, just goes that way. I jump up, and the guy to my left was saying, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I took off that way to go up around the thicket to catch whoever it was. And I get up on top of the berm, and this giant rock goes flying overhead, lands down the bottom. I mean, it made a boom, boom, boom sound like, it's big-ass rock. I spin around, and the kid's standing down there. The other guy's still frozen. I get down to the bottom, and I grab him face to face, and I'm like yelling, if this is you guys messing with me, not the language that I was using, I'm going to bury you out here, blah, 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 blah. And the kid's crying. He's got tears just streaming out of his eyes. And I realize it's not them, and that behind me in the woods is when this log goes, boom, big log just breaks. And I go running into the woods like, I got you now, that kind of thing. My little pin light.
Yeah.
And the woods were dark. I mean, it was absolutely pitch black in those woods, that light on. And it's just one of those weird, eerie, like you don't want to be there.
Right.
I'm a professional soldier. I mean, the woods at night are my life. That's what we do.
Right.
We move in the night. That's our element.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be there, so I slowly backed out. And they continued to mess with us. After that, I just gave up, and we sat there in a camo net, smoking cigarettes and trying to calm down. These guys were like, can we just leave? Can we just leave? I'm like, no, we can't. We have general orders we got to follow.
Yeah.
And then when the moon came up is when they quit.
Well, that's a wild little story right there.
Makes me wonder what it was. Do you have any theories as to what it was?
None. And that is probably what put me on the path and because I wanted to know what it was.
Yeah, I bet.
Because it checks the box of so many different cryptids.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's people making comments already about what it could be. I mean, it goes everything from Dogman to Bigfoot to, poltergeist to aliens to, it covers every kind of thing that, all in one lump sum encounter. So.
Turkey said he could take you to some spots on Mount Magazine where he's seen and heard things he can't explain.
I'm in. Hit me up.
And he means that. He means that. He's got a big wooded area out there, and so he probably,
I'm in. I'm definitely in. I will tell you, though, the
good
Whoppers.
news, if you go with him, you ain't got to worry.
If you remember, I told you about the Whoppers, though. They put traps out there.
Yeah.
None of the Whoppers were taken.
No?
No Whopper was touched. Nothing came in that night to take the Whoppers.
You mean all that moving around, they didn't even eat the burger?
Didn't even eat the burgers. Nope. They left 3 to 4 Whoppers out there.
If they'd been Baconators, they'd have been gone. All right, then. We are out, y'all. Great show today for everybody. Thank you, Luke, for being
thanks
in.
for having me.
I appreciate you. Did you want to promote the Arkham Brawl too?
Yeah, he started that earlier.
Yeah, we can. Ark and Brawl 2 this Saturday, July 5th. Doors open at 6, first bell at 7 at the Moose Lodge there in Saline County. $15 ringside, $10 general admission. Great thing about it, since it is at the Moose Lodge, there will be alcohol that will be served also.
I'm actually a Moose member.
Are you?
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? There you go, man.
Right?
So what time does it start again?
Doors open at 6, first bell at 7.
All right, then there you go. And anything you want to promote? You tell them how to find your stuff.
Yeah, please do. You guys, we're on all your social media platforms, all your streaming services. Drunken Cryptids. Yeah, you can. If you had contact or you want to come on the show, email me drunkencryptids@gmail.com. Let's see here. What else? Yeah.
Maybe you have your own story.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. Yeah, if you have a story and you want to talk about it, you can email me, shoot me a message, shoot us a message on the Facebook page. Me and Tommy, you know Tommy.
Yeah, of course.
So Tommy helps me run all the background stuff, everything on the technical side of the house. He lets me go to the woods, and then he goes through all the footage afterward.
Yeah.
But yeah, please do email us. We'd be more than happy to talk to you. And if it's a really good hot spot, we'll come on out and maybe do a good investigation.
And be sure to tune in tomorrow, man. Everything's on track. I have a little something special planned, and it's going to happen tomorrow.
I'm very anxious about this. I don't know what it is. So, Luke, how do they find your music, man?
So you can look us up on all the socials, all the platforms, and all that. So look up Vantage Ruins, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Music, Spotify, all that kind of stuff. Quick 2 things to promote real quick. Losing Sleep, the new single that we're releasing alongside our friends in Via Sky and Exodus, drops next week. There's a live music video dropping for it, too, that we filmed at Marathon this past weekend. Some more details about the world premiere of that coming here in a couple days, because we are doing a big world premiere for it.
That's awesome.
How exciting.
Oh, it's going to be fun, dude. And
Yeah.
then, July 26th at Cannery Hall in Nashville, Vantage is going to be playing with Keith from Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah.
it's
Love
gonna
Breaking
be a fun
Benjamin.
one. Oh, yeah, they're the homies. They're great guys.
Yeah, man, that's awesome, man. That is awesome. All right. And don't forget, I'm a real estate agent. If you need help, let me know.
Before he is set on the real estate agent, I will tell you all this. One, thank you again for helping us find that beautiful home.
Hell yeah, man.
I
I'm
appreciate
glad
that.
I did, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm going to end with the awesome note of, look, you guys, we started looking, and within a week, I think the same day, the first day.
Yeah.
First day we found the house, and we were closed and everything out in less than a month.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty smooth process.
It was great. I mean, I just want to say thank you for what you did and, helped us out.
Man, you're very welcome. You know what? I appreciate you saying that unsolicited as well. It was a pretty simple, smooth process.
Yeah, I'll brag about you all the time. I'm not going to lie. Even in Utah, we're bragging about you.
Man, that's cool, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, dude.
There's one time I saw Patrick in a grocery store. A mother was needing help with groceries. So not only did he assist with the groceries, the grandma needed open knee surgery. So right there in the middle of the Walmart, Patrick did open knee
I once
surgery.
breastfed a baby dolphin, until its mom could get back.